No games. It's over. The war with Iran is going swimmingly for us, actually. I did not expect it to go this well from the beginning. I knew that we were like going to overpower them completely, but I didn't think this would end up with us gaining an absolute stranglehold on the entire world economy and making allies with basically every Middle Eastern country, well, aside from Iran, obviously. Hasan Piker is getting thrown out of every Democrat event possible. They think that he's evil. They're right. Zohran Mamdani is declaring war on Israel. Turns out he does not have the authority to do that as the New York mayor, but he's still trying. He's trying his best to declare war on the Jews, and he's riling up the goyim. It's going insane. The Democrats look like complete idiots in Congress. All right, now they're losing their absolute G-blitz out, getting humiliated every single day. We got Odyssey updates, and honestly, I am super excited for the deep dive today. I did a heck of a lot of preparing. I was in the Jew tunnels, scrounging up and researching this stuff, and oh baby, it's a banger. So lock in, boys and girls, and I am fully demonetized on YouTube, you should know. At this point, I'm just doing it for the love of the game. So if you want to support my work and you want to go to Patreon, that would be really appreciated. Patreon is a way that you could watch extra videos that I post there. I post like 3-4 videos there every single week, exclusive for patrons, and I very much appreciate your support. It's literally how I'm able to keep doing this. A link to my Patreon is in the description. I also stream this live on kick.com/Nuxanor. Now lock in, boys and girls. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. The war is moving along. Mr. President immediately announced that his plan was to run for a third term.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's a special place, and I am here to announce my candidacy.
There he is. That's our president. Bro really wanted to win a fourth election.
I'm only kidding.
Yeah, anyway, obviously the media is very unhappy about this joke. This joke made the media write 4,000 articles and piss themselves 12 times. It's pretty good. So anyway, in regards to the overall W that's happening in Iran, a lot of people crying that Iranians are dying. But unfortunately, killing terrorists is great, actually. For this point forward, anytime the Islamic Republic of Iran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, whether it be by missile, rocket, drone, or any other device or weapon, the United States will bomb and destroy one bridge or power plant, including those located next to or in the capital city of Tehran. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That's my fucking president. That's my president. That's my president. That's my president, by the way. That guy, that orange guy, that's my president. Truly magnificent work, Mr. President. You show them your big orange balls. That's right, baby. Woo! Now, a lot of people, including like so the leftists that support terrorists are very unhappy about this because this means terrorists are going to die. And the right, like the morons on the right that are also loving terrorists lately because they hate Trump or whatever, they're also very unhappy of this. Leftists in conniptions, goat maxers in panic, cousin maxers losing their mind. The sand muggles are having the worst time ever reading this shit. Or at least, if they could read, they would be having a bad time. But the reality is very simple. Winning is good, and losing is bad. I support winning, actually. I know a lot of people say that it's not fair. Life's not fair. Life's not supposed to be fair. God works out how life ends up fair, all right, from his cosmic perspective of the world. From my perspective of the world, life's not supposed to be fair. Fair is we nuke each other. Winning is we nuke them. That's right, baby. Sorry, not getting involved in this fair. It's not fair that we can have nukes and they can't. Yeah, that's right. It's not fair, and it's awesome anyway. The really nuclear take is fair is a lie. Fair is what the libtards want to use to control you. It's not fair that the poor Somali family doesn't get the right to rape your child. Well, personally, I don't care. Anyway, I'm really glad we were able to have this discussion. So, POTUS had this to say.
Investigation as to how they were killed in Jordan.
No, they're doing that. That'll be released.
There was a report
you know what?
that it was Iran targeting barracks.
I don't know. Well, they're going to pay a big price.
They're going to pay a big price. Now, Rubio had this to say, and I love it. I love it.
I just want some clarification. Do you rule out striking civilian I think I saw, guys, I saw Arachi, their foreign minister, who the other day say or something about their policies, an eye for an eye. The president's policy is a head for an eye.
That's my president.
Honestly, that's what it's going to be. I mean, they will pay a very heavy price for the things they're doing. They're already paying a very heavy price. You guys don't know it because you don't cover it. You're not in Iran. You're not in the street. They don't have a free media. But they're going to continue to pay a very heavy price. Their industrial base has been decimated. Their defense industrial base has been decimated. They're losing launchers. They're losing radars every single night.
That's right.
They are suffering billions of dollars in damage, and their economy is a disaster. But despite all that, okay, these people who are calling us every day, begging, let's do a deal, they send us messages through other countries, third countries. I mean, they're running out of countries to send. Even I had countries here coming up to me, I just spoke to the Iranians, they want to do a deal. The problem is, every time these people do a deal, they either break it or after they make it, they want to change the deal. So they're probably not ready to do a deal yet, but they will be soon. Because the price they're paying is very high, despite their tough talk and their flowery language and their stupid Lego videos they put out. I've never seen them, but they put these things out on social media. Despite all that bravado, they are suffering tremendously, and they're going to suffer more until they come to their senses. They're not there yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, because the truth is actually winning is awesome, all right? Winning is awesome, actually. I made an entire deep dive on Patreon why it's moral to obliterate your enemy. God commands you to obliterate your enemy. The idea that we have to let our enemy kill us before we do anything to them, I'm sorry, that shit's stupid. Stupid and immoral. It's satanic to fight fair. Fighting fair, I'm sorry, I'm just like so tired of watching the morons be like, it's so unfair, they're dumb, they're gay, why should we kill them? Because they're dumb and gay, we kill. No, I'm kidding, obviously, but it does help us, it is efficient, it does make. Okay, anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is a head for an eye, baby. That's the policy. It's not an eye for an eye. It's a head for an eye. Because the concept of an eye for an eye that exists in the Bible is my eye is equal to your eye. That you do damage to me, you get punishment equal to the damage we done. But our eye is not equal to an eye of a terrorist. The terrorists have to die. I know. I made a whole deep dive on Patreon about it, actually. It's pretty awesome. Now, Trump's actually, despite the fact that everyone's making you believe he's the most unpopular guy on the planet, he's still the most popular president in his second term almost ever.
21st century own party approval rating, about at this point in his second term. We got Trump, we got Obama, we got Bush. Look, they're all fairly popular, but the one who is the most popular, and we have seen this time in and time out, no matter when you look, is Donald John Trump. He's the only one who's over 80%. 83% of Republicans still approve of the job that Donald Trump is doing as president. He still has that magic touch.
But I was told that everyone hates him now.
See if it carries over to South Carolina, but we've seen it in primaries this year, Senate primaries, and that's because he is still a very popular man, historically popular when it comes to his own party liking and approving of the job that he's doing. So it was 21st century.
That's really awkward because I was told that everyone hates him now. Wow, that's wild. And this is CNN. Wow. Anyway, it turns out something pretty massive has been happening, and I think this is also part of the reason why we're taking it slow when it comes to the complete obliteration of terrorists. All right, just want you to understand. So Donald J. Trump had this to say after meeting with the president of Lebanon, Joseph Aoun, who has done a remarkable job working to transform his country. I'm hereby directing my administration to allow all U.S. airline carriers to fly directly to Lebanon, so that Americans can have an easy visit to this beautiful land. Hopefully other countries will do the same. So Lebanon, for those of you that are unaware, was just bombed to shit by Israel because Lebanon is hosting Hezbollah, a terrorist organization that's killed hundreds of our people, but also exterminating the Christian community in Lebanon, right? Lebanon used to be a Christian majority country, not anymore, obviously. That's what happens in every single Muslim country. Weird how that happens. And they're also bombing Israelis. And it turns out they bombed the Hezbollah terrorists. Iran was basically saying, "Oh, how could you do this against Lebanon?" The UN came together to condemn Israel, condemning Israel. How dare you kill the terrorists in Lebanon? But you know who seems to be very cool with all of this? The government of Lebanon. The government of Lebanon is making deals with Israel and with America now for the first time ever, which is pretty insane. Brother Bane, thanks for the 25 gifted subs. It's insane to see this, by the way. It seems like everything is going our way, actually. I know it doesn't seem that way, but you know.
If we left today, it would take them decades to rebuild, and I don't believe they could ever rebuild. And honestly, they haven't seen anything yet. We've been nice. We've been nice.
We've been very nice. They've seen nothing yet. Now, Iran is targeting Amazon data centers in Bahrain because they're terrorists and bombing civilian infrastructure because they're terrorists, and that's what terrorists do. Silence from the UN. That's because the UN is controlled by homosexuals, Islamists, and Chinese people. I hope you understand. Anyway, Kuwait says Iran attacked and damaged their desalination facilities and power stations. Desalination facilities are how they make the water drinkable. By the way, for those of you that are unaware, this is a war crime. Not that war crimes are real. Not that international law is a real thing. International law is fake and gay, which is absolutely true. However, important to note, nothing from the UN. UN has nothing to say about this one. The International Criminal Court, dead silent. They have nothing to say. You see, this is why I don't believe in fair. Fair is gay. Fair is how libtards control you. Fair is stupid. All right, I don't believe in fair. I believe in winning. I'm sorry. I know. It's not a nice thing to say. Now, winning by your own moral standard, absolutely. But for some reason, war crimes are only war crimes when America does it or when Israel does it. Right? War crimes aren't war crimes when terrorists do it because the shit's rigged. So I'm not going to sit here and make believe that it needs to be fair. All right. It needs to be fair. Why isn't the UN? Because the UN is their boys and the UN wants the terrorists to fucking win. That's why. New President Trump has rejected Iran's call for a ceasefire. No, it's diabolical, please. But I was told he was losing. The war. Anyway, the Donald had this to say. A year ago, the United States of America attacked very powerfully the Houthis for their interference in commerce and trade, shooting at their ships. Now, currently, for those of you that need context, the Houthis, I've been keeping an eye on this whole thing. I feel like I'm the only one that's actually covering this properly, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, so for those of you that are unaware, the Houthis are trying to bomb Saudi Arabia's shipping because Iran wants basically to make the Strait of Hormuz the only feasible way to transfer oil through the Middle East. All right, so they got their Houthi proxies, the Yemeni morons, to bomb those guys. All right, now understand what the Houthis are. They're child rapists. Anyway, so this is what Trump had to say. Since that time, and during our conflict with Iran, they have acted very responsibly. Unfortunately, now they are starting up again, shooting at 2 Saudi Arabian ships last night. Please let this truth serve to represent that if they do this again... Oh, God, this is so much better than you could possibly imagine. The U.S. will hold Iran responsible. He's so good. It's crazy. Oh, my God. That's right. We don't care about the Houthis. Those ragtag pirates, they don't do shit. But every time they shoot a boat, we're going to blow up Iran. And that the Houthis are a surrogate proxy of Iran. A major military punishment will be inflicted upon Iran and, of course, the Houthis themselves. Of course, obviously. Well, I'm very disappointed in what they have until now acted very professionally and smart. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Understand the level of geo-dominance that is happening here. China's buying our oil. Venezuela is no longer a threat. Cuba's collapsing. Iran is cooked. All of Iran's proxies. Hamas is decimated in Gaza. Hezbollah decimated in Lebanon. Lebanon is directly making a deal with us and with Israel. The Houthis completely and utterly cucked. They can't even bomb Saudi Arabia anymore. All right, it's just miserable. It's miserable. Holy crap. Now, the new UK Prime Minister recognized the error of Keir Stalin. Andy Burnham allows U.S. forces to use British bases to attack Iran. Oh, my God. And the Donald keeps tweeting. So he made a civil nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia. All right, literally just a flex on the Shiites in Iran. He's making a deal with the Sunnis in Saudi Arabia. There will be no enrichment of material being made between the United States Department of Energy and Saudi Arabia, which pertains only to non-military use, such as the ones that Iran and the UAE and others already have, will be approved. But it is totally subject to Saudi Arabia joining the very respected and successful Abraham Accords. The United States is not opposed to civil non-enriched nuclear facilities. Thank you for attention to this matter. So Donald Trump is literally giving the Saudis nuclear energy, all right, which, by the way, we would just sell to them. We don't lose anything by this happening, but non-enriched, so they can't actually make some sort of weapon out of it. I love how Donald Trump is just like, I know they're our allies, but they worship Allah. We can't give them nukes. I'm sorry. Anyway, so he's like, sorry, bro, it's not going to happen, homies, but you can have the energy. That would be cool. So he gives them the energy as a trade for, I'm sure they're going to pay for it, and also to join the Abraham Accords. Honestly, an insanely powerful deal that's going on between, Saudi Arabia now, Egypt, United Arab Emirates, Israel, all these guys are basically kind of working with us in regards to our global stranglehold on the world. All right, this is what winning looks like. It's insane to see. Now, Hasan is crashing out, obviously, because he doesn't like that Saudi Arabia is becoming friends with America because he hates America. Says, letting Saudi Arabia have nukes as long as they formally recognize Israel without Palestinian statehood. Bro, what the fuck are we doing here? No one gives a shit about Palestinian statehood. Oh my God, what are we even doing? Like, literally, what are we even doing here? This is like the only thing he cares about is terrorists. It's crazy. Anyway, 25 years after 9/11 is wild. Hasan is angry at Saudi Arabia, an ally of ours that was fighting with us shoulder to shoulder in a war. He's mad at them for 9/11 when he himself supports 9/11. Oh my God. But of course, his cult is too busy yelling at Zohran for being a Muslim. No, they're not upset at him for being a Muslim. They're upset at him for being a terrorist sympathizer and a communist. Just like they're upset at you for being a terrorist sympathizer and a communist. Saudi Arabia is an ally of ours. No one cares about giving them non-enriched uranium. Like, these people are insane. Like, actually crazy. Anyway, Rubio had this to say.
Well, look, all these things are compliance-based, right? I mean, if you make a deal, if you sign onto an agreement and then you violate the agreement's no longer valid. That doesn't mean you can't have a future agreement, but ultimately that future agreement will have to be judged on whether or not you're complying with the conditions. And that deal called for the opening of the straits, free and fair navigation. In fact, they were supposed to put out a statement to that regard a week and a half ago. And instead, on the day they were supposed to put out that statement, instead of doing that, they targeted and blew up or hit a ship. So we remain open to diplomacy. We remain open to working it out in a negotiated way. But right now, they don't seem to be serious about that. And so we're going to continue to protect shipping. We think other countries should join us in that endeavor. We don't need them to, but they should, because they're more impacted by it than we are. And at the same time, we are going to, when the opportunity presents itself, degrade their ability to target global shipping. Well, look, all these things are compliance-based, right?
I mean, Rubio, the entire time, in my opinion, my analysis is Rubio was against the deal the whole time. Okay? While the deal was being made, Rubio was sitting back and just being like, oh, yes, deal, yes, terrorists, Muslims. Yes, deal, yes. And then the deal fell apart. Rubio's back in the spotlight. We're going to kill those bastards. We're gonna put their heads on pikes, ladies and gentlemen. This is why Rubio is the main character of the next arc of America, for those of you unaware. Marcus Rubius follows my stance of killing terrorists is awesome, actually. Now, listen, I demonetized, sad, unhappy, YouTube is kicking my ass, life is shit, but I'm out here making videos every day for the love of the game. We're killing, as long as we are, as America, is killing terrorists, I will be making content. Okay? Hear me! This is my passion and my glory. Anyway, the point is, it's very fun to watch terrorists die. Oh no, Nux, but what about the innocent? Yeah, well, there shouldn't have been terrorists, I guess. What do you want me to say? Anywho, so Trump had this to say about Iran.
Extinguished. But I believe that by doing what we did, by terminating Iran, who's very evil people leading that country. You saw the number of protesters that they killed, 52,000 plus. I put a couple of them up today, young kids that kill them. They kill them like they're candy. It's crazy what they do.
Yeah, they're actually terrorists. They're actually really bad, and they're terrorists, and we need to kill them. Oh, well. Now, listen. I'm not someone that advocates for starting wars. I'm not someone that advocates for getting into wars, but I am advocating for once we start the war, we need to win. All right, so, and I want to do that with taking as few casualties as possible. One American life is a world of Islamic terrorists, okay? And I would, to protect one American, drop a fucking nuke on him. I'm not saying I want that. But I am saying I would consider, I take it back. I take it back. We need to kill terrorists. So they need to die. Anyway, so Pickaxe Mountain is one of their major areas where they are planning on, sitting there and enriching uranium. They're like, we're just going to make it in a secret mountain. We have a nuclear mountain. We're going to be building shit in the mountain. And it's not going to happen.
They may have. We don't have it on record. All we do is read the fake news. We see the news is so wrong so many times. So, maybe this one they have right. But it's okay. It doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. You're talking about the centrifuges. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. They don't have. We follow the material. That's where the action is. And we'll be hitting that area probably pretty soon. And there's not a thing they can do about it.
Yeah. Pickaxe Mountain, soon to be known as Pickaxe Valley. Pay no attention to how things evolve there.
Of concern of a blockade of the Red Sea by the Houthi rebels, opening up another front in the war.
What happens so far? It hasn't happened. Might happen, but we take
pro-war. I'm anti-war. I'm pro-winning. I hope that makes sense to you. If you're not 40 IQ, you might catch that. Anyone that says they're anti-war is lying to you. There's no such thing as anti-war. Okay? Anti-war is a way to manipulate dumb people. It's a way to manipulate low IQ people. Everyone's anti-war. No one wants war to happen. Sometimes war needs to happen. Once it happens, I want to win. This is the correct take. And if you're listening to someone tell you they're anti-war, they're trying to manipulate your empathy centers.
take care of things. If something like that happens, we take care of it. You know, we've done that with the Houthis before, and we haven't heard from them in a while since we did what we did originally. That was about 45 days of very powerful action we took against the Houthis.
That's right.
And we've had no problem with the Houthis. They've had no problem with us for a long period of time, including during this conflict. I think that if there is something like that, we'll just have to take care of business.
Yep. So the reality is everyone is going to get obliterated here if they keep fucking with us. And listen, we gave them ample time to make a deal. We really did. Honestly, we were more benevolent than I would have even wanted. When we gave them that memorandum of understanding, even I was like, no, listen, man, this shit's not going to happen. They're not going to make a deal. They're terrorists. They want us to die because of their holy war, because their holy global jihad that they want so badly. This is never going to happen. But anyway, and I was right. It didn't happen, and now we're going to obliterate them. But we were benevolent, is what I'm trying to say. Now, this is Trump annihilating a reporter who makes believe she understands the war better than he does.
Mr. President, there are no signs that Iran is ready to stop fighting.
By the way, I didn't know that the reporter that was going to ask the question was a woman. I just knew because of what the question was.
What is the plan? Is the plan to just keep bombing until they give up?
There are no signs. Why, do you know something that I don't know?
Well, they continue to attack our allies and
You
kill
don't know
Americans.
what the dialogue is behind the scenes, that they want to meet desperately to try and end it because they're getting decimated. You don't get that when you listen to your fake station, but you don't know. You don't know anything.
So talks are
you know
still
something that I don't
possible.
know? Do you know something I don't know?
Well, tell us.
I will tell you. They want to desperately meet.
Bro, these bitches need to be removed from the Oval Office. Like, why are they there to just bitch? It's like, hi, my job is to bitch at the president. Wow, that's fantastic. You're really enlightening the world.
And until they're ready to meet in a meaningful way, we have no interest in even.
Mr. President,
Yeah, a light upon the nations, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so the Lebanese president, all right, is in total Trump glaze mode. All right, for the record, anyone that does this to Trump is the bottom. Okay, listen, I am the least homosexual news channel on the internet. All right, I have to say it in advance because there's way too much homosexual infiltration when it comes to the media. However, you are about to witness the gayest shit ever, and it's kind of awesome.
Mr. President, it's an honor having you. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you
I've
very
been
much.
looking forward to this visit for a long time.
Thank you very much.
Meeting such a great president like yourself.
That's a very nice thing. See, he knows how to get to me.
Hello, it's so nice meeting great president of all time ever. Greatest man, what a This is gayer than two men having sex with each other. Just want to make that clear. All right, this is how you know the Donald's in control. Everyone that goes into Trump and starts immediately glazing, all right, full on deep-throating that shit, all right, you know that they are completely and utterly cucked. All right, that's how it is. So, Lebanon, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are unaware, is coming into the fold. We are having a total stranglehold on all of our enemies, literally all of them. All right, and that includes Iran, it includes China, it includes Hezbollah. All right, it's getting really bad and really hairy for the morons. Now, Hegseth has been dropping absolute bangers.
Something no president's been willing to do. 47 years, they build up a conventional capability like the North Koreans did. Remember, that's how North Korea made their way to a bomb. So much weaponry that no one was willing to stand up to them. President Trump was, and it continues to this day. Iran's been given every opportunity to negotiate, to show that they're reasonable on the Strait of Hormuz. But if they're going to shoot at commercial shipping, then we're going to hit them, as the president said.
Dude, I didn't even notice this, but this is him saying, we tried to be nice, we tried to make a deal, they wouldn't even stop bombing ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Look at Vance's face, bro. Look at his face. Oh my, he is not. I mean, he's the guy who was pushing the deal, right? He's like
10 times harder, which every night we're degrading them further and further, and the president has all the options necessary.
Yeah, bro's not happy about that. Listen, man, we all knew the I personally think that J.D. Vance just wants to make everybody happy and just doesn't understand that Islamic terrorists are fucking psychopaths that need to die. You know, that's my opinion. Now, anyway, Nicaragua's president, Daniel Ortega, says the country will no longer hold elections. Communist, by the way, cancels elections in his entire country. That's just kind of how it works over there. If you're a communist, you could just do this, and all the left will support you anyway. Notice how Hasan isn't going to criticize this guy for being a fascist. Now, one guy does, though, and that would be Secretary Marcus Rubio's first of his name. The Trump administration and the international community will not stand by as the Murillo Ortega dictatorship deepens repression at home and manufactures instability that threatens U.S. national security. Ortega's pledge to abolish elections in Nicaragua proves his cowardice and fear of the Nicaraguan people's will. True. I'm really glad Mr. Secretary Marco Rubio is just on it. Yo, thanks for the 5,000 kicks, Lex Juthor. Fantastic name. Fantastic. So anyway, our guy, Pete Hegseth, very proficient at killing terrorists, by the way, I've noticed. He has been recently called in to talk to the people. And let's just say it goes as anyone would expect. So they immediately hire like 10 paid instigators to protest.
The supplemental funding request is not a substitute.
You're against these illegal laws. This is against Iranian people, 90 million people. Your hands are bloody.
You kill 90 million people. You kill 90 million people. This is like 150 holocausts. Yeah, all right. Anyway, so Secretary Hegseth also just completely shits on these people.
What's the status?
The nuclear sites under Midnight Hammer were obliterated, but Iranians foolishly continued to attempt to pursue nuclear capabilities, which is why we destroyed their defense industrial base and so many of the other capabilities to ensure they can't get to a nuclear weapon. See, we're staying laser focused on the objective, and you're trying to make campaign commercials.
No, we're not.
And that's fine.
So
objectively correct. They got Anna Kasparian's auntie in here. No, I'm kidding, obviously. I'm kidding, obviously. Anna Kasparian's auntie would have probably eaten her in the womb or something. But the reality is, they're out here actually trying to create campaign slogans. Like, no war in Iran, it's war crimes. And he's just like, I actually don't care what you say. We're just going to blow up terrorists. Now, Pete Hegseth is destroying everybody. All right, so this guy is calling the U.S. military a failure, which, by the way, is literally just a political talking point because we are objectively winning.
When will you show leadership? When will you show leadership?
Why don't you show some leadership and stand up to your fellow Democrats who won't fund the troops, who stand and play partisan politics while you don't give us the money? You want to stand up here and talk about the troops? You won't show any political courage to actually fund our department because you have Trump derangement syndrome.
That's right.
And can't actually commit to anything meaningful. So I put this on you, Senator.
Secretary Hegseth, you have trillions, you have over $1 trillion. You're asking for $1.5 trillion. It's not a question of money. It's a question of leadership and understanding what it takes to actually win.
You don't understand. The Democrats are funding, condoms in Gaza, okay? They're spending millions of dollars on condoms in Gaza. All right, and this dude's like, why are you not funding our military?
Political cowardice of Democrats who won't fund the troops.
Yeah, it's almost like the Democrats hate our country and want us to die. But who am I to come to those conclusions? And, bro, he just scorched earth, destroyed Iran here.
Iran is at the weakest point militarily it has ever been in the past decade. Certainly, maybe in 47 years, as they've gathered effectively a terror army. And that terror army was built to try to create conventional capability to defend against a pursuit of nuclear weapons, which meant thousands of ballistic missiles, many of which we have destroyed, others of which they have put inside facilities and hidden in underground facilities. And that's what terror regimes would do. So I acknowledge they still have capabilities, no doubt. But the amount of damage that we've done to them over the course of these series of operations has put them in the worst place they've ever been.
Dude, I'm just thinking out loud here, but turns out vilifying America and doing October 7th might have been some of the worst decisions anyone's ever made in the history of geopolitical warfare. Now, he keeps going. He blasts Joe Biden, too. Dude, he was just like an actual nuke. He was just obliterating everybody.
Rest assured that every dollar appropriated to the Department of War will be focused on building the lethality of our joint force and reinforcing peace through strength. As I have said before, not fully funding this department, the Department of War, and we know what that means, that means $1.5 trillion, given the world that we live in and the disaster of what the Biden administration budgets gave us. Not funding this department at $1.5 trillion, I believe, is the greatest threat that our nation faces. Either we invest in our warriors at this moment of step change on the battlefield and growing threats, or this is all just talk. I look forward to working with this committee to secure those funds so that our warfighters can continue to do their work every day to keep our great republic safe. Thank you very much.
Amen. God bless our troops. God bless our troops. Now, Ro Khanna still trying to make some sort of political spectacle about all this. Christian towns around Bethlehem are surrounded by settlers. No, not the Jewish settlers surrounding the Christian towns of Bethlehem. You see, Ro Khanna notably loves Christians. I don't know if you're aware. Very big pro-Christian Ro Khanna over here, criticizing, the Jews for having settlers around Christians. What he doesn't mention, suspiciously enough, is how Bethlehem's Christian population has declined by like 75% ever since the Palestinians took over. I feel like this would have been something I would have personally included. How you see 80% of Bethlehem was Christian under Israeli control in 1967. 80% of Bethlehem was Christians under Israeli control in 1995. And then Israel relinquished the control to the Palestinian Authority, and it is currently sitting at 10%. Now, this is very suspicious. Because as we know, notoriously, it's not like Muslims have genocided Christians in every single country ever. Oh, wait, no, they actually did do that. I'm starting to... No, actually, wait, hold up. No, they did do that, actually. Huh, it's funny. I didn't even like think about it that deeply. Yeah, no, actually, they did do that. It's probably not because it's their religion that says they have to kill Jews and Christians or anything. It's probably just like a lot of individual cases. It's a lot of coincidences. You see, I personally have grown as a man, and on my channel, I no longer would ever insult anyone for an immutable characteristic like a religion or being a genocidal psychopath. I would never, ever, ever do that. And despite the fact that it is true history that every single Muslim majority country has mysteriously seen their Christian population get massacred, I will not mention it due to my acceptance of cultures that want me dead. That's what I'm going to do because I'm a better person now, actually. That's just how it works. Now, Trump is ready for all-out war with Iran. It seems like these motherfuckers are about to find out. And let me just remind you all, it's not going to be fair because fair is gay. Now, the gay race communists are taking over America little by little. And the Dunnard had this to say.
America is back. It's stronger
True.
than ever before.
It's
and
true,
I'm
he's
telling
right.
you, it's only going one way. It's going up. As long as we keep our current thinking, our current system, it's going up. If you go the other way, nothing ever succeeds.
Never swing the other way, gentlemen. Never do it. Don't let them convince you it's normal. But the animals do it. The animals also eat each other. Okay, they're cannibals. They eat poop. Okay? All right? It's never swing the other way. Trump said it. Now, I didn't say it. Trump said it, though.
I made the statement once. With communism, everything turns to shit. Okay?
Real and true. He's so real.
Terrible thing.
He's so real. That's an American. That's an American. Yes.
It's true. My wife hates it when I do that. She said you were doing it so nicely, and then you had to use a foul word.
No, I feel like it's appropriate every once in a while. Now I, on YouTube, as a better person than everyone else, I don't say any bad words ever. I would never, ever say a bad word regarding a protected group, like men that like to have sex with other men. I don't even want to think about that. But anyway, as someone that would never insult any protected group, except, we need to have a little more respect for the homophobes. Like, think about how, like, discriminated against the homophobes are. Like, there's gay people everywhere in every movie, but we don't really get any good homophobe representation, and I feel like that's very disrespectful to the homophobe community, which is always welcome here, by the way. Anyway, so Zohran Mamdani is doing his absolute best to make believe he's the president of America. Dejected, Mamdani admits he lacks the legal authority to invade Poland. This is so sad for poor Zohran Mamdani recently tried to declare war on Israel. It was very sad. All right, so remember, one of Zohran Mamdani's core promises that he made to the libtards in America was, when I become mayor of New York City, I will arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. It was one of his primary promises to the people. Now, I had a very, very weird take. I saw some people on one side saying that's great, and people on the other side getting really mad about it. Personally, I really wanted him to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. I know, it's very uncharacteristic of me, but think about how hilarious it would be if he arrested, because he obviously has no authority to do that. He's the mayor of New York. You can't just be arresting some foreign head of state or something. All right, but imagine how hilarious it would be if he arrested Benjamin Netanyahu. His beeper would go off immediately, if you know what I'm saying. There would be no more New Yorkistan if he arrested Netanyahu. So I'm just saying it could have been hilarious. Missed opportunity, by the way. Trump would literally have killed him. All right, anyway, let's hear what he has to say.
Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal.
Oh my.
The architect of a horrific genocide against the Palestinian people.
A genocide of the Palestinian people where 2% of the Palestinians were killed, and the overall population in Gaza is higher now than it was before the quote-unquote genocide started. And it started out of nowhere, by the way.
He is responsible for the killing of more than 73,000 people.
Well, 23,000 of them were terrorists, so it was only about 50,000 people and 23,000 animals.
For the maiming of tens of thousands of children.
Man, it really fucking sucks that Hamas decided to start a war.
As those who survive undergo amputation without anesthesia. For the targeting of neonatal hospitals and
Man, really. By the way, do you know where the leader of Hamas was when he died? Like a rat. Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, the guy that started the October 7th attack. Do you know where he died? In a tunnel under hospitals. He died in a tunnel under a hospital. What does that tell you?
Care centers denying newborns even the chance to live. For the countless people he starved as he blocked food and humanitarian aid from reaching them. The
UN admitted last week that there was no humanitarian aid blocked and that it was Hamas stealing the humanitarian aid. More humanitarian aid went into Gaza than what was calculated to be necessary. By the way, now, I'm just correcting it because this is the reason why he's making this video ultimately is because he hates America. All right, Benjamin Netanyahu is his little random guy. It's his random guy that he's taking his angst out at. What this really is, it's to control America. It's to stop America from being a superpower, and it's to turn America into a third world slop. All right, that's literally what the point of all this is.
For the gunning down of hundreds of aid workers and journalists. And just last month,
the journalists were actual Hamas terrorists that wore press vests, by the way.
The UN confirmed that Palestinian children continue to be deliberately targeted and killed by Israeli armed forces.
There is no evidence yet presented by the UN, and I looked, that Israel is deliberately targeting children. All right? A lot of children died, and it's very sad that Hamas started a war, and now casualties died in a war. You know, just like how casualties die in everywhere, but in every war. But Hamas started a war, casualties happened, it's very sad. And there is still no evidence that Israel is targeting children.
More than 8 months after the so-called ceasefire. The list goes on and on. All as we, as Americans, pay for the bombs that do the killing.
Good point, Mr. Zohran. I think we should stop giving foreign aid to all other countries and non-citizens. You know, he's so right. We should stop giving money to Israel and stop funding Haitians and stop funding Muslims in our country and stop funding Somalis and stop giving money to Ukraine. I feel like we should stop giving money to literally anyone. Good point, Zohran. We also shouldn't be giving money to illegal aliens because I personally would rather fund blowing up terrorists in the Middle East than fund terrorists raping us in our homeland. That's my hot take, but I'm against both.
There is a reason the International Criminal Court issued a warrant for his arrest.
The International Criminal Court has no power here, okay? It's libtard homosexual Islam court, and it means nothing.
As human beings, we have spent generations building a shared understanding.
I love how he added like the sad background music.
There are crimes so grave, they offend all of humanity. Anyone with their eyes, with their heart, with their conscience should recognize the devastation he has wrought and understand.
But why did it happen though? Like, why did that happen?
That
why
he
did he do
belongs
that?
Before a court of law. As I've said, I agree with the ICC.
Oh, it's good. He agrees with laws that don't apply in America. That's nice.
Netanyahu should be arrested and tried for his crimes, as I do for anyone else charged by the ICC.
Why is he not saying any of this for the terrorists in Iran that just massacred 40,000+ of their own people? Why does he not have any criticism for them? In fact, he just tried to meet up with an emissary from Iran last week, as I covered in the video. That's weird.
My administration has...
It's almost like he loves Islamic terrorism, and he really hates people that don't like Islamic terrorism. Again, I could be wrong, but maybe.
...reviewed every avenue available under applicable law to determine whether New York City could execute the International Criminal Court's arrest warrant if Benjamin Netanyahu came here. It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant.
So he has no power. So this entire big PR video about how Benjamin Netanyahu's a bad guy is just him backing down on his campaign promise and saying, yeah, I promised you I'd arrest him, but I can't do that, actually. Anyway, have a nice day.
The federal government, however, does. And I call on them to join the ICC and execute this warrant.
Yeah.
And I want to be equally clear. Benjamin Netanyahu is not welcome in New York City, nor is any other war criminal at large.
But you know who is welcome in New York City? All the illegals that aren't allowed to be in our country. Those guys are allowed in New York City. But a leader of a foreign country going to a UN meeting in New York City, that is not okay.
Well, we cannot end the genocide on our own.
Remember, this guy criticized us capturing Maduro, a narco-terrorist that was poisoning our people, and he said he was against that. Just reminding you.
We can decide...
It's almost like he likes communism and terrorism.
...whether our silence will become another weapon. And we can examine every tool we have to defend the humanity and dignity of all people.
Which is why if you start a war by raping and killing 1,300 civilians of your neighboring country should bomb the ever-loving shit out of you and win the war. So anyway, so this was Zohran Mamdani's big video. All the leftists are pushing this. Now, again, it's really funny because this is a L. Right? This is him basically saying, I know I promised I wanted to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu, but I can't actually do that. So I lied to you. Thanks for electing me, suckers, but I can't actually do shit. Now, people are actually noticing this. All right, this guy says, I had a dead homeless body in front of my apartment, but the mayor's focusing on playing Model UN. All right? Like, literally, bro, it's bad. So this is one of the biggest stories in commie America these days, and it's pretty insane. So this is Zohran Mamdani in 2025. All right, 2025 Mamdani.
As mayor, New York City would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a city that our values are in line with international law. It's time that our actions are also.
Even though the US is not a signatory to the ICC?
No, it's time that we actually step up and make clear what we are willing to do to showcase the leadership that is sorely missing in the federal administration.
That's really awkward. So even though these laws don't apply to us, he wants to apply them anyway because he doesn't care about America and he wants to be part of this globalist homosexual cabal. And now he said, now we can't actually do that.
It is clear that we do not have the independent legal authority to enforce this warrant.
Oh, no! You mean he lied? Man, Malboy, thanks for the 5 subs. All right, so anyway, Idi Amin slaughtered 300,000 people, and Zohran's father wrote an entire book about how he wasn't that bad. That's because he was a Muslim terrorist, and Zohran Mamdani loves Muslim terrorists. You might not be aware, but this guy, he's a Muslim. It's a coincidence that he's a Muslim. It's not because his Islamic faith makes him like terrorists. He just happens to be a Muslim that loves terrorists. By coincidence, on an individual level. I'm not saying anything negative about any large protected group because I would never do that. But he loves terrorists. He does, obviously. 2025, I'm arresting that Nazi Netanyahu. 2026, I'm sorry, Lord Yahoo. I am a silly goy. I'm a silly goy, Yahoo. I can't do anything. No, this is so sad. Even the white supremacists are clowning on him. This is so sad. Now he hates Jews because his religion seemingly tells him to hate Jews. Now, that's not what I said. That's what this random guy on Twitter said.
Who is ready for Palestinian freedom? Who is ready for the end of apartheid?
You know, every Muslim country is apartheid, by the way.
The support for the Israeli government is something that is developed from the first moment that someone even thinks about politics in this country. We have to combat it at the same level. Not on our dime! Not on our dime! Not on our dime!
Now, the reason why I wanted to show this to you is because people are immediately saying, actually, he hates Zionism because of the genocide. That's why he hates Zionism. You want to look at the date? You want to look at the date that this rant about this was posted? You want to look at the date of this video? September 22, 2023. Notice how this was before the pretendicide? Notice how this happened before the October 7th terrorist attack? Man, that's really awkward, isn't it? Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Anywho, so you'll notice that there's a lot of this. Now, today in New York, here's an image of the attacker who allegedly has been screaming Allahu Akbar during a stabbing in public. And guess who he stabbed, ladies and gentlemen? Zohran Mamdani makes another post. I have been briefed on today's horrific stabbing in the Upper West Side where an Asian man and a Jewish man were attacked. Well, this makes it sound like a random guy just attacked an Asian man and a Jewish man. The actual story is a man attacked and stabbed a Jewish man, screaming Allahu Akbar, and then while trying to run away, stabbed an Asian man. That's what happened. He put Asian man first because he doesn't want to make it seem like a Muslim screaming Allahu Akbar might have done a terrorist attack. All right. According to witness and victim statements, the perpetrator yelled Allahu Akbar. There's video of it, of him yelling Allahu Akbar. Anyway, so he got arrested, obviously. And, you know, New Yorker being stabbed on the street corner. Glad to know Mamdani focused on bringing Netanyahu to justice. Really true. True. So true. So true. Yup. So anyway, they elect a communist terrorist supporter guy. All right, obviously, bro's shitting on the Jews every day because his religion also shits on the Jews every day. And the Christians, which is why you have churches burning down, which is why you have Jews getting stabbed. But hey, at least he's focusing on bringing Netanyahu to justice in his eerie music studio where he could farm PR points off third worlders, because that's basically what this is all about. This is literally just third world propaganda. Listen, man, I've been saying this for so long. I feel so bad for the high IQ anti-Semites. The first world anti-Semites are doing their best. All right, trying to separate our support from Israel and whatever. And here you got the third world anti-Semites just making a whole clownery out of it. It's so sad. It's so sad. You can't even take these like first world anti-Semites seriously anymore. Holy shit, these poor guys. Anyway, Mayor Mamdani released another statement regarding the Jews today, which is pretty insane. He made 3 Jew statements in one day. All right, we're going to arrest Netanyahu because he's killing terrorists. It's really sad that a Jew got stabbed. It probably wasn't targeted at him because he's Jewish or anything, even though it was. And here's the third one, and this is the best. Wishing a peaceful Tisha B'Av to the Jewish New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs. From sundown tonight until tomorrow, mourners will pause and reflect on the history and resiliency of the Jewish people. May all observing have a safe and meaningful fast. Wow. That's beautiful. That's so nice that he cares about the Jewish people. We're going to let you get stabbed by immigrants that hate you because of their cultures. We are also going to arrest the Prime Minister of Israel because he's killing terrorists that kill Jews. But we want to wish you a peaceful fast on Tisha B'Av where you mourn the destruction of the temple. Where was the temple, though? Zohran Kuwami Mamdani. Where was the temple? Can you remind me exactly what the morning of Tisha B'Av is actually doing? Oh, you mean the temple in the Jewish homeland in Israel? Oh, that temple? Is that what everyone's talking about on Tisha B'Av? Wow. The official Israel account responded. Indeed, we are mourning the destruction of our temples in Jerusalem. Glad you're acknowledging the historical connection of the Jewish people to the indigenous homeland Israel. Oh my god. Oh my god. These people are he's such a loser. It's crazy. When Israel is able to get a W on the timeline, you know it's over, because Israel's PR is absolute ass. All right, bro, it's crazy. Now, apparently, a senior FBI source told Laura Loomer that senior FBI leadership is reason to believe that Mamdani may have direct communication with Islamic terrorist organizations. He is certainly a national security risk, which is why we declined giving him an FBI-approved security clearance. He won't be getting one. Who knows what's actually going to happen? Who knows? It's going to be wild. Now, Dave Rubin says he wants you to think he's going after Israel. He's really going after America. He should be kicked out of office, denaturalized, and sent back to Uganda. And Elon Musk responds with 100. Elon Musk responds with 100. All right, I'm just saying, everyone that actually understands what this is knows. Palestine is a Trojan horse, right? In honor of the Odyssey being fake and gay, I wanted to talk about the genocide that's also fake and gay, all right? Because the Palestine Trojan horse has always been about, essentially, going to every Western country, tugging at the heartstrings of homosexual college students to convince them that actually all the Western nations are bad and we have to destroy them. No one cares about the Palestinians, or they would care about all the people that are getting massacred and slaughtered for no reason throughout the entire Middle East, right? The Nigerians slaughtering people, the Sudanese slaughtering people, the Ethiopians slaughtering people, the Somalians slaughtering people, the Syrians slaughtering people. They don't care about any of these. They only care about Palestine because Palestine is the Trojan horse. It's the Trojan horse to destroy the West. And that is what it's used for every single time. I've been saying it forever, and I've been proven right literally so many times, it's scary. Now, so Elika Lebon, this is a Iranian, all right, a Iranian who is obviously against the Islamic regime that is currently occupying Iran and slaughtering their people. Can anyone ask Zohran Mamdani why he isn't planning to arrest Pezeshkian, the president of the Islamic Republic, who is attending the same UN conference as Netanyahu in September? Tens of thousands of Iranians murdered in 2 days, the worst massacre of our time. No speech, no arrest, no performance. That's so weird. So Netanyahu and this Pezeshkian guy is showing up at the same time, and he wants to arrest the guy that bombed terrorists instead of the guy that literally slaughtered his own people for no reason. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. Now, of course, Zohran Mamdani is gathering the libtard Avengers. All right? The foreigner dumb fucks that invaded our country and are clinging to the halls of power because we've also imported their entire extended families, which is like 4 billion people that voted for them. All right? They are all coming together to support Zohran Mamdani, the squad. All right? It's pretty incredible. They're all coincidentally incredibly ugly, but that is something I wouldn't point out.
Ask you about Mamdani. He's exploring ways.
I'm obsessed with him. He's doing a great job.
Well, he's exploring ways to arrest Netanyahu. What do you think about that?
Arrest him. He's a war criminal.
Does he even have the authority to explore the arrest of Netanyahu?
I don't know if it applies to citizens' arrest. If he needs help, tell him to call me.
Ask you about
If he needs help, tell him to call me. Just because I look like Shrek, it doesn't mean I am Shrek, okay? Shrek wouldn't be a suicide bomber, but I would. Now, I'm not saying that because she's a Muslim. I'm saying it because she's a Palestinian. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm obviously making a joke. I'm not intending to insult her immutable characteristics, like her ideology or anything like that. Yeah, citizen arrest, the leader of a foreign country invited to New York to the UN meeting. That makes sense. Anyway, Rubio had this to say about the ICC.
Well, here's how I reconcile it. We're not members of the ICC. We never signed that treaty. We never joined it. And they somehow claim that they have a right, nonetheless, to go after non-treaty members and put heads of state and others in jail. We've long had quarrels with them, and we have lunatics and crazies involved in the ICC that are talking about charging members of the U.S. military, maybe even the president or a future president, with crimes. I mean, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. We are not members of that court. We never signed on to that treaty. They need to understand that. If people want to sign on and be a part of that stupid organization, they can. But we're not going to be a part of it, and they're not going to apply their jurisdiction to Americans. That's just not going to happen. We're not going to tolerate it now or in the future. And we've warned them about it repeatedly. And now they're going to see the consequences of ignoring us.
He's just so based. Now, the ICC is made up of homosexuals and Islamists, all right, literally. All right, and these guys, they come together and they try to basically, use their homosexual rage, their repressed homosexual rage, to basically make believe like they have power over other nations. All right, and they don't, because they're literally just a gay organization that doesn't do things. Right, the UN, it's a fake and gay idea. All right, international law is not real. There's no such thing as international law. All right, it's just what dumb, weak people want to do to manipulate strong, powerful people. Like, literally. I'm not saying might makes right, but I am saying might makes. And might makes. All right, so Rubio's like, no, the ICC has no power. There's no power here. And he also cooked the communists.
Well, again, what the president put out on Thursday, that was the declassification of documents from our intelligence community. That's what he put out. He declassified intelligence assessments from our intelligence community. But your question was about communist influence. Yeah, the United States doesn't want to be a communist country. We're never going to be a communist country, and we're not going to allow communist influences to undermine our politics or our society. So I don't know what the inconsistency you're referring to is. It's very clear. I don't, obviously.
Well, we need this guy to be president.
We understand the Chinese system and other systems, but I can tell you our system doesn't want communism, and we're certainly not going to allow communist efforts to undermine American society and drive wedges into our country, and that's what we're seeing. And by the way, one of the leading culprits of that for many years, the intellectual authors, particularly in our hemisphere, is the Cuban regime, which our report on Monday outlined.
The Cuban regime, which oopsie, they're gonna collapse soon. Oh, that's awkward. Now, Zohran continues pushing his commie sludge. If you have a second home in New York City worth more than $5 million, check your mailbox. You have to pay tons of taxes to foreigners and morons that come into our country, invade us, and rape us. Nice. Now, to show you basically the Muslim crash outs, which are very entertaining. So, Sneeko catches streamer Sneeko wearing a Messi jersey in an Argentina game in 2024. That's really awkward because he says that Messi is a puppet of Israel.
Ha demostrado que puede ganar partidos sin Messi.
What the?
What the? Huh? Oh.
Looks like Sneeko has been a pawn of the Jews all along. Now, in one of my favorite interviews of all time, here we have this guy, Mehdi Hasan, terrorist supporter. He loves terrorism, especially when the terrorists kill Jews and Christians. But he loves terrorism in general. Terrorism is just his favorite thing. He wakes up and he's like, I would love some terrorism today. That's what he says. Now, this guy, I don't know who he is, and I don't really care because he's on his show, which implies that he also probably likes terrorism. So this guy says, in many ways, the game Argentina versus Spain was almost a proxy for Israel versus Palestine, rightly or wrongly. What? No one thought that, ever. Literally, no one thought this, by the way. No one woke up and was like, holy shit, I can't wait to see if Israel or Palestine win. When Argentinians and Spanish people, and Spanish Africans, I should say, clash in football. No one actually thinks this, by the way. Except for maybe Islamists that want to win. You see, it's not easy to be a Muslim in 2026. It's not. The internet's debunking the Quran. It turns out semen doesn't come from your ribs. We're not living in a geocentric solar system. It's really diabolical. It turns out people don't like child rape anymore. It's not acceptable. They don't like it. They don't like it at all. I've noticed I'm talking to people, and everyone I talk to, they're really against child rape, actually. It's diabolical. It's not easy to be a Muslim. Someone asked me in my chat earlier today, hey, I want to read the Quran. Which is the right Quran? If there are many type versions of the Quran, then it's obviously not the word of God, is it? I know, it's brutal to be a Muslim today. You know, Wesley, you open up the internet and you're like, holy shit, what am I doing? I'm worshiping, praying to a rock. I'm walking around a cube in the desert. Oh, it's rough. It's rough out here. It's rough out there. So anyway, not only that, but also they lose every war. Here they are, 1 billion of them surrounding 9 million Jews in the middle of the sand dunes of the Middle East. They can't kill 9 million Jews. Oh my God! They start all these wars with surprise attacks, and holy shit, they keep losing. So anyway, the point is, it's a rough year to be a Muslim. And then there's all the Islamophobia that happens after Muslims rape kids in England. So understand, they need a win. So they're making believe that Argentina versus Spain is the proxy of Israel versus Palestine. Now, interestingly, Mehdi Hasan was wearing an Argentina jersey 2 years earlier. Guys are awesome. They're all such freaking clowns. It's insane. They're all clowns. They're clowns. So Sneeko, a homosexual Muslim, announced he will be adopting a child. Obviously, people are pointing out, interesting. Man whose favorite film is Cuties converts to Islam and wants to adopt a child. Intriguing. Probably a coincidence. Now, the Democrats are doing their absolute best to not be as gay as possible. So I wanted to just show you, a lot of Democrats have been beefing on the timeline, and it's one of my favorite fights ever, all right? Because, again, watching Democrats eat each other alive makes me happy, because they're all evil Satanists. So watching them kill each other basically does my job for me. So this guy says, Rep. Josh Gottheimer says, I'm glad to see other Democrats reiterating what I've been saying all along. The DSA, the communists, are not Democrats. They're socialists who want to hijack the Democrat Party. The Democrats have a big tent that's their strength. We embrace a range of ideas, but there's no room for anti-American bomb throwers who oppose our ideas. Okay. Rep. Summer Lee says, what about the Dems who sign bombs and vote to drop them? Community note, different Josh. because that was Josh Shapiro, not Josh Gottheimer. So immediately, like, this is a congresswoman who literally knows nothing about their own country. We gotta deport. She was probably an American, like, since the slave trade, but, like, I feel like we could still find a way to deport her. That's my opinion. Wrong Jew, lady. Wrong Jew. Anyway, so then he says, you know, that was the other Jewish guy named Josh, right? Oof, that looks pretty bad. That looks bad. Because remember, the Democrats, all races are good except for Jews and whites. I hope that's it. That's basically the creed. All right? No matter what type of sexual deviant you are, no matter what type of shade of brown you are, you're a hero. But if you're straight, you're male, you're white, or you're Jewish, holy shit, you're all equal. You're all the same. So anyway, he's like, yeah, that was a different Jew. And then Ilhan Omar said, oh, yeah, but he signed the bombs. You voted. Oh, shit. The Somali comes in to correct the record. You may not have dropped the bombs or signed them, but you voted for them. Okay, interesting. Community note, Josh Shapiro signed artillery shells in a photo op with Volodymyr Zelensky. It wasn't Israel. Oops, because the ammunition was going to Ukraine, replacing stockpile shells out to Ukraine. And get ready, Ilhan Omar voted for that military aid as well. Oh, he signed the bomb that you voted for. Ilhan, you also voted for it. Oh my God. The 67 IQ is going insane right now, bro. It's going crazy. Bananas and rice spotted. And immediately after this, Shapiro signing bombs was an event with Zelensky about fighting Russia. It had nothing to do with Israel. Bro, these people are actually morons. They're actually stupid. They're like dumb. They're like low IQ. They're like low IQ, but I would never call them like a monkey or something, because that can be taken in a racist light, which is never how I would intend it, obviously. Literally ever. So, in conclusion, homophobes, I don't want you to feel excommunicated anymore. There's too much discrimination going on in society. And, you know, homosexuals, they're like very accepted these days. They're in every TV show as a gay guy, right? Homosexuals are everywhere. But I feel like homophobes, really, they don't get, like, basically any love or respect at all. No representation. When's the last time you saw like a homophobe in a TV show and he was just like based as shit? When? Like, it doesn't happen. They always make them like the bad guys. And I, you know, I'm out here looking out for my homophobic brethren, saying that I see you and this is a safe place for you. All right. And while the left continues to eat each other over their endless purity death spiral, I want you to know that you have a home here. And I personally wish you nothing but the best of luck in the future. Now, welcome back to a series so homophobic, even Eric Cartman subscribed. The libs are making fools of themselves again, and we have to cover it, because unfortunately, these are the kind of things that people aren't willing to cover properly. But when leftists basically make themselves look like stupid idiot morons with no brains in order to manipulate and gaslight the low IQ people in their base, I feel like it's my duty, nay, my obligation to be there. All right, and you know I'm doing this for the love of the game. I'm not even getting paid for this. I'm fully demonetized on YouTube. I'm supported via Patreon. You absolute patriots, thank you so much. I just did a video on why communism is cancer and satanic over there. If you want to watch that, that'd be great. But the point that I'm trying to make is, it's for the love of the game that we're pooping down the throats of these morons. Now, me, whenever something goes slightly wrong in life.
Anyway. The Jews...
So real, Shlomo Fuentes. You were spitting facts right there. Now, it's diabolical, by the way, because we are about to talk about the Jews. It's leftist kryptonite, because leftists make believe they love everybody, but then they actually just hate whites and Jews and straight people and people that aren't having sex with other men's butts or something. So, breaking, House passes a bill to merge the U.S. and Israeli militaries. Nearly every Democrat voted no. Oh my God, this is horrible. This is a massive national security threat. I do not want to merge our military with Israel. I think that would be a horrible thing to do. As you can see, this got 11.6 million views. Americans outraged by the treasonous situation that just happened in the Congress. We merged our military with Israel. Now Israel controls our military because we're merged. Except that's not what happened at all, actually. And this is a psyop being run on the dumbest people of all time, and it's working, because a lot of people are dumb. Who the hell made up this crap that the NDAA merged our military with Israel? All it does is expand the already existing research and technology agreements that exist between the U.S. and Israel, which we have with basically all of our allies. It's like saying NORAD is a merger of our militaries with Canada. That's a fantastic question, but unfortunately, sir, you are assuming that your enemy does not have a sub-Saharan IQ. You see, the reason why I said that is because statistically, sub-Saharan people are dumb. I'm not saying that because there's any form of insult into any form of immutable characteristic of any form of individual at all. Any person or entity that might be accidentally offended or insulted by this should take note that I'm saying this for documentary purposes only. Not because I think they're dumb as shit, because statistically, according to research done by the World IQ Summit, they're dumb as shit. But I wouldn't say that. That's what they said. I personally think all humans are equal in every way, actually. Anywho, so the point that I'm trying to say is these guys realize that their base are emotional manlets and foids. Foids and manlets. All right, so Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you know her because she's a bartender that ended up making $23 million by not insider trading in Congress, because that would be illegal. Illegal things don't happen. Tomorrow, the House will vote on the NDAA, which includes a provision to merge parts of our military with the IDF. No, it doesn't do that at all, actually. The amendment is an existential threat to American sovereignty. Now, remember, these people hate America. They hate America. They don't like the idea that we're destroying our enemies. They hate that we're killing terrorists in Iran. They hate that we're capturing Maduro in Venezuela. They hate that we're toppling the communist regime in Cuba. Remember, these guys hate our country. They don't want us to be sovereign because they believe that illegals should be able to stay in our country. They believe people could break into our country and poof, get magic citizenship. Okay? They do not believe in American sovereignty at all. But they make believe they care about American sovereignty because they know that a lot of people hate the Jews and they can trick people into being dumb. To quote George Orwell, anti-Semitism gives people the supernatural ability to believe in the unbelievable. Now, again, George Orwell was prophetic when he wrote 1984, and I feel like he was prophetic with this one too. Again, I've said this before, I feel bad for the high IQ anti-Semites that they need to suffer being lumped in with the third world low IQ anti-Semites. It's not easy. It's not easy to be like these people. It's crazy. Now, I just wanted to show you some banger tweets. They are merging the IDF and U.S. military because they know that the U.S. military isn't going to want to open fire on American citizens. Yes, actually. You know what? Now I want them to merge. You know, I didn't want them to merge before, but now I do. You know, I was worried that that our military wouldn't just start killing libtards in the streets when they start trying to run over ICE agents. But now that they're merging with the IDF, now they would do that. So I actually support it now. You know, I didn't support it until now, but now I actually think that sounds pretty awesome, actually. And notice, she has, like, some other banger tweets that she's been making. Like, the reason the world is upset as Israel is because of the 700,000 innocent Palestinians they've murdered. Yeah. Right. The 6 million Palestinians that died in the Holocaust. Yes, I can't believe that this happened. 6 million Palestinians all died. Yeah. Hamas claims there were 70,000, by the way, not 700,000. And no one claims that they were innocent. But anyway, so again, this is what we're dealing with. So Adam, this is a Pakistani that lives in the United Kingdom that LARPs as a white nationalist, says the motion to merge America and Israel's militaries, that's not happening, is set to pass tomorrow. This is literally treason happening in broad daylight. Bro. Bro. Arrest Trump. Oh no. Now, one of the major reasons why we're doing this alliance right now is because Israel is the #1 most technologically advanced country in the world in regards to fighting with enemies that dig tunnels. Okay, now a lot of people don't actually understand this because no one understands geopolitics. Israel has more experience in dealing with terror tunnels than any other country on the planet. Both Hamas, to Israel's south, and Hezbollah, to Israel's north, have built hundreds of miles of concrete tunnels underground using aid that they've been given by the UN and USAID, all right, to build tunnels underground to commit acts of terror. The U.S. has noticed that the cartels are building tunnels as well to smuggle drugs into our country. And the #1 most effective at killing dumbasses in tunnels, they're the Jews. So we're making a deal with the Jews to start killing idiots in tunnels trying to put shit in our country. That's one of the major reasons why we're doing this right now. We're not merging our militaries, obviously, but anyway, but that's not what Pakistani LARPing as white nationalists have to say. So anyway, breaking, the U.S. Army is planning to merge with the IDF on January 1st due to the NDA Act passing. Oh no, oh my gosh. Oh my god, Grok, is this actually happening? No. No, they're not merging. Yeah, no, we're just trading technology because Israel has high tech integration and good technology, and we're helping each other out with technology. Actually, it's not happening. The U.S. has erupted. Cheers passed as the NDAA, which includes Section 219, which would merge the U.S. military with Israel. This is treason, says the Hoge twins. No, it's not. My response to Congress voting to merge our military with Israel. Now, again, I like a lot of the things James Fishback says, but bro's got IDS, man. He's got Israel derangement syndrome.
Yesterday, the United States Congress voted to merge our military with Israel's military.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that at all, actually. That didn't happen, actually. Why would you want to merge your military with another country? Think about what that means for the influence on your country. We're not doing that. Now you know why AIPAC was created. Oh, shit. AIPAC was created so we can get Israeli tech? Damn. Good deal. Thomas Massey, another guy who's been pushing this gigantic lie to basically manipulate morons. The final vote total for the NDAA was tragically merges our military technology and supply chains with Israel. Bro, these people are all... And now you know why he lost. Because he just lies to the American people to get votes from Pakistanis. All right? No one's falling... The people that are falling for this are the low IQ inbreds from across the world. Okay? The people... No actual American that understands anything about politics actually believes this. Okay? Holy crap. Now, even Nick Fuentes, by the way, again, I want this moment. You know, Nick Fuentes, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. You're just trying to be a good anti-Semite in a world full of idiots. Like, I'm so sorry, man, that you have to... Listen, he just wants to hate the Jews, and he really, like, he's having a hard time. Because it turns out most of the people that hate the Jews are actually idiots. I'm so sorry, Nick, that you have to go through this. I guess it's time to recognize exactly the suffering this man has to go through every single day.
Malo Baby sent $20. The bill passed in the House today with Section 219 intact that will merge our military with Israel's. It goes back to the Senate for vote.
We're not merging our... Who invented...
This is Nick Fuentes realizing half of his audience are Pakistani. It's so sad.
Invented this idea that we are merging our militaries.
Bro.
Listen, I don't support this at all.
Bro, Hitler died so that the anti-Semite movie could be the anti-Semite movement could be taken over by brown clowns. This is so sad.
It's awful. It's very bad. But we're not merging our military with Israel.
Bro,
I don't know who started saying that and how that caught on. It says that we will cooperate on technology development.
Yeah.
That's basically what it says. And there's intelligence sharing, this whole like, we're going to merge. We're not merging our fucking military with Israel's.
Bro, and it turns out his entire audience is just sub 60 IQ goyim. It's brutal. It's brutal. You know, Shlomo Fuentes is out there trying to hate on the Jews. And it's really hard. Like, again, I am an empath, so I feel bad for the anti-Semites that are actually trying to hate on the Jews for high IQ reasons. It's brutal out there. It really is. It's so sad.
That's the fucking stupidest thing I've heard this year. This is why I say, like, I'm just tapping out of this scene.
It's a tip, buddy.
It's like,
Nick, you know, you could always join the Jews. The Jews will not the leftist Jews. Those guys hate you. They'll try to kill you because leftists want to kill you anyway. But some of the Jews would accept you. Nick, you don't want to be part of this.
You want to criticize it, okay, fine. But this, like, people go,
I will work with you to destroy the leftist Jews. If you work with me to destroy the leftists broadly.
Our military. We're not merging our military with Israel's. It's technology sharing. It's intelligence sharing.
Bro, absolute cinema. Insane. Now, anyway, bro, poor Nick. He's out. He's suffering. He's struggling. He's struggling so hard. All he wants to do is destroy the Jews, or at least the Jewish influence or whatever. And he just can't form some sort of coalition because it turns out all the guys that he would like ally up with are like sub 60 IQ morons. It's rough. It's rough out here. Again, dicks out to our anti-Semites that are just, unfortunately, not completely and utterly mind-fucked by stupid.
And who else? It's like, if that's the anti-Semitic movement, then, like, Hashem, make me Jewish. Like, Hashem, make me Jewish.
He's so close, bro.
Please, let me join you. I'm sorry. I was just kidding. No, it's true. We were just jealous. We want to be like you. It's like, if that's the movement, then we're cooked.
Man, it's rough
Look
out
at
here.
the Jews roster. The Jews have Larry Ellison. And the Jews have George Soros.
Bro!
And they got Adam Sandler.
That's not fair. It's not fair to lump all the leftoid Jews. Bro, there's enough moron leftoid white people also. Okay? All right.
People don't fuck around. They got Jack Black. They got Benjamin Netanyahu. They got some heavy hitters.
True.
And even on their bench are the goy. They also have the top goys, too. They got Donald Trump, Elon Musk. They made Ye apologize. Like, their deck is stacked. The bench. And who else?
Yeah, anyway, again, at some point, you're just gonna, I'm telling you, man, Shlomo Fuentesberg, it's happening. It's happening, okay? I'm just saying. Anyway, again, we gotta feel bad for these people. Like, again, as an empath, it's not too late, Nick. It's not too late. Join the winning side. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Anyway, to basically make fun of Democrats, because this whole idea is the Democrats pushing that we're merging our military with Israel, which obviously isn't happening. I'm just saying, the Democrats are still proving why they keep losing at everything.
The World Cup that captured the imaginations of the entire world when they saw all of these people of color that was playing for all these teams. And ultimately, if you recall, the last two teams, it was Argentina and Spain. And it seemed like the vast majority of the world was rooting for Argentina, or actually against Argentina, right? And why was that? Just give me an explanation if you could guess, if you'll just let them finish the answer.
Spain had the best team. Maybe that's why they were rooting for them.
There's also a racist history that exists as it relates
Mr.
to
Byer,
Argentina.
you're recognized.
Thank you.
Can you believe our tax dollars are paying for this? Our tax dollars are here so entitled rich black bitches could go and just start talking about how it's racist to root for some freaking team, man. Like, are we serious? Are we serious? Holy shit. Oh my God. It's insane. It's crazy. Now, Congress isn't a complete waste of our money, because there is one individual who has been absolutely killing it in Congress, and that is Representative Brandon Gill. I think that's his name. Gill. Mr. Gill is a legend. So this is Rep. Gill talking to the Smithsonian director, okay, about woke garbage in the Smithsonian.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it important to be polite?
Yes, sir.
It's also interesting because the same mass action toolkit that your organization has been promoting references politeness as a defining characteristic of white supremacy culture. Ma'am, are you a white supremacist?
No, sir.
You're not. Can you help me square why your organization says that being polite is part of being a white supremacist?
I'm not exactly familiar with that passage of the Mass Action Toolkit, which is
I can show you the
one that we
passage. It's right
developed.
here.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it important to be polite?
Yes, sir.
Bro, he murdered her, by the way. For those of you that are unaware, he murdered her. Now, I just want to make something clear. Calling politeness white supremacy is the most racist shit I've ever heard in my entire life. It's implying that black people are rude. Now, I'm not talking if there's any merit to any stereotype, because we don't do that here on the channel on YouTube, where we are incredibly nice people and loving to all creed and cultures. However, I am saying, if you are going to say that politeness is white supremacy, then you're actually just calling black people rude assholes. Okay, that's literally what you're doing. Okay, I wouldn't say it, but that's what they're saying, just to be clear. Now, he destroyed her here, completely obliterated her. It's like, you called politeness white supremacy. Are you polite? Are you polite? Yes. So you're a white supremacist? What do you mean? Now, he does it again. He obliterates her again, asking her if Mickey Mouse is racist.
Would you say that the goal of history is to be objective?
Thank you, sir, for the question. You know, I think that there are many goals of history, and certainly as you collect, as we do, examine evidence, create scholarship.
Is objectivity one of the goals of history?
We strive to be objective and nonpartisan and not based on any ideology.
So it's one of the goals. Doesn't that seem a little bit concerning? It certainly does to me, because as part of this white supremacy document that your organization has promoted, objectivity is a core and defining aspect of white supremacy culture. Do you think that it's the goal of the Smithsonian Institution to promote white supremacy culture?
Sir, do you mind sharing with me which document?
Oh!
White supremacy culture right here. This is part of the mass action toolkit that your organization has promoted for several years now under your leadership. Are you promoting a white supremacy culture at the Smithsonian?
Is objectivity good? Yes. But you say here that objectivity is white supremacy.
Ma'am, is this a difficult question?
No, sir, I'm just thinking about the Mass Action Toolkit. We didn't develop it, but back to your question, no, we're not promoting any ideology.
Does it concern you that your goal is objectivity? One of your goals is objectivity, and your Mass Action Toolkit references objectivity as a defining characteristic of white supremacy culture?
It's not our toolkit.
It is your toolkit. You've been promoting it for quite some time.
We did not come up with a toolkit, sir.
But you've been promoting it.
It is
Bro,
used
he's
as
killing-
a reference,
he's
I
killing
believe,
her.
probably in 2019, 2020.
Yes, under your leadership, it has been used as a reference. Is Mickey Mouse racist?
Mickey Mouse is not racist.
It's not racist. According to the Smithsonian Institution, one of your exhibits referenced Mickey Mouse as representing, quote, vestiges of long-standing traditions of blackface minstrelsy. Would you describe that as racist?
No, the historical trajectory of the origins of Mickey Mouse tie directly
So Mickey Mouse is rooted in racism. Is that your testimony?
No, sir, it's rooted in minstrelsy.
Minstrelsy, and you don't think that blackface minstrelsy is racist?
It had certain obvious racial overtones that have been well documented.
You think that that's problematic, that Mickey Mouse also has those racial overtones?
It's not for me to determine what's problematic. It's determined to me what's accurate.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is it important to be polite?
Excuse me, sir?
Is it important to be polite?
Oh my
Yes,
God,
sir.
it's insane. This
Also
entire
interesting because the
segment's
same
insane.
mass action toolkit that your organization has been promoting references politeness as a defining characteristic of white supremacy culture. Ma'am, are you a white supremacist?
No, sir.
You're not. Can you help me square why your organization says that being polite is part of being a white supremacist?
I'm not exactly familiar with that passage of the Mass Action Toolkit, which is not
I can show you the
one that we
passage. It's right
developed.
here.
I don't, pardon me?
I said I just read you the passage from it.
And then your question was, sir?
We're going to move on. What is Latina power?
What is Latino power?
Latina power.
Latina power would be the forces derived from being a Latina.
Do you think that it's appropriate for the Smithsonian Institution to sell Latina power paraphernalia? Hats, mugs, other things that say Latina power?
I believe that the merchandise our store sells
I'm asking you if it's appropriate.
tries to reflect the richness of the communities.
So your testimony is that it is appropriate?
So could we do white power?
Those are your words, sir.
Could we do it?
I'm asking you, is it appropriate to sell Latina power paraphernalia? It's a yes or no question.
I don't have control over what is sold
I'm
in our
asking you if it's
stores.
appropriate. I didn't ask you if you have control over it. Is
I
it
understood you,
appropriate?
sir. Yeah.
Yes or no?
Again, we strive to represent all Americans,
Boy
including
looping.
Is it
in our
appropriate? Yes or
merchandise.
Boy
no?
looping her.
We strive to represent all Americans in our museums, including in our merchandise.
Is that right? My
Yes,
time's
sir.
up.
Yeah, very excited for the Smithsonian to release white power merch. Keep me updated on when that actually happens. But oh my God, I love him. And Brandon Gill shows up and just slaughters leftoids on the floor. It's insane. It's crazy. He had another one of these just today, by the way. The American Bar Association claims that everyone has implicit biases. So he literally asked this black lady, okay, so what are your implicit biases? She said everyone has them.
According to the ABA's website, quote, all of us have implicit biases. Would you agree with that statement?
The ABA believes that diversity, equity, and inclusion improves the practice.
Would you agree with the statement that, quote, all of us have implicit biases from the ABA's website?
The ABA believes that diversity
Boy
in all
looping.
of
Is
its
that a
forms
yes?
is
Can I
important.
take
Boy
that? It's a
looping.
yes or no question. Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases, as your website says?
The ABA looks to remove barriers, and we examine.
That's not my question,
Boy
ma'am.
loop.
Do you believe that all of us have implicit biases?
I've expressed what the
You do.
ABA is doing.
That
with
is
its
that is the
diversity work.
ABA's position, as expressed by their website. Against which groups do you have implicit biases?
The ABA believes that it's important to always explore.
Are you going to filibuster? Because it doesn't make you sound very good. I'm going to ask you again, against which groups do you have implicit biases?
It's important to always examine everyone's point of view and where they may need to
It
consider.
is.
How
What about your point of view?
Because
I'm
everyone
here
has
as
it.
the president of the American Bar Association,
And I'm asking you what your implicit biases are.
the ABA is an
Have
entity.
you reflected on your implicit biases?
I think about how I operate
What are they?
the world constantly.
Would you like to explain to us what they are?
I am here speaking on behalf of the ABA and the
They cannot defend a single position they hold. This is modern leftism. So while the left is slaughtering each other and calling the right fascists, they cannot even possibly engage in any form of discourse with right-wing people. You know why? Because they goy loop. They are totally slaughtered in the marketplace of ideas. So they have devolved into just calling you a Nazi and a fascist. And you know what? It's diabolical because it all ends up coming down to the fact that the high IQ, intelligent patriots are all going to rally to one side, and these guys are cooked. No one can support classic Democrats anymore, and Nick Fuentes is becoming Jewish. So literally anything can happen. And you never get too surprised, all right? Because God has a plan, and we it's God's world. We're just living in it. All right, listen, man. Anything can happen. And I'm excited to see where we go from here. It's going to be diabolical. Now, during the great leftoid civil war, leftoids eating each other alive. Now, they're not willing to engage with right-wing people. You know, they just call us Nazis at this point. But they are eating each other, so that's huge. So this is Mao Zedong. He is a very well-known figure in the leftoid community. He especially loves terrorism. So Destiny and Hasan are currently beefing big time. Hasan did an event at a college where he basically said that we need to overthrow America because he loves terrorism in China. Destiny wanted to show up at that event, and they did not let him in because obviously Mao Zedong was very upset about this. Now, when you're in the middle of heroically fighting the fascist empire of America, but you get word that Nome might be coming to listen to your speaking event, right? So bro got literally banned. Now, there's a lot of discourse, which I have covered. I have covered the discourse about how Hasan Piker supports Mao, the Chinese communist that murdered 60 million people. No biggie, just 60 million. Hasan likes him, supports him, thinks he's a great leader of history. People called him out. He then said, "Oh, I was just kidding," but he actually ended up tripling down and defending him again. But because he likes when people die. Actually, it seems that's my stance. It seems he just likes when people die. And he loves terrorism. So hey, it works out. So anyway, he's trying to push communism in America, and he feels like, hey, we have enough sub-Saharan immigrants to actually do that. That would be huge. That would be awesome, actually. We can do this. It'll be big. It'll be great. Think about the whites that we could kill. That's probably what he's thinking. I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but I imagine that's what he's trying to say. So this guy, Hasan, has been getting dragged through glass, all right, by everyone, and he is fighting back, and it's very fun. So Maoist Hasan, America Deserved 9/11, Piker the Dog Striker, has recently celebrated 9/11 by hanging a new bit of paraphernalia in his streaming room.
Also, you might have noticed some changes behind me. I finally framed the Cutie Cinderella newspaper from 9/11, the morning of 9/12, the newspaper right there. The newspaper that covered 9/11. It's now officially sitting behind me, and I moved the North Korean poster up.
I wanted to move the pro-North Korea poster away so that I could have space for my pro-Islamic terrorism poster.
In place of the fan art. We're going to
Chinese flag, Cuban flag, Hasan wearing a diaper.
Find a new place to put all the fan art. Don't you worry. Okay? But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and MBs, that's a PSA 10, by the way. That 9/11 poster, or not, the 9/11 news
poster,
article is a PSA 10.
Yeah, he just loves terrorism. He just loves the idea of Americans dying. I think that's what he loves, actually. I mean, he has celebrated Dan Crenshaw losing an eye. He's pro-North Korea. Yeah, he's pro-North Korea, pro-Russia, pro-China, anti-America, pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas, pro-Houthis, pro-Hezbollah, anti-Israel. It's amazing, actually. It's great. He makes believe he's anti-imperial, but he's not. He actually just supports the other empire. In my opinion, he's a terrorist, but I would never say that. It's just my opinion. Now, he is a terrorist supporter and sympathizer, but that's not the point. Hasan framed the 9/11 front page. This is an enemy of America, all right? And, like, why would you frame this if not because you literally support it? Now, he makes believe that he just wants free healthcare. Except, he also just wants to kill every white guy in America and Jew. The whites and Jews have to go, and also free healthcare for the browns that aren't getting jobs. So anyway, now the left immediately decides to pull their free-run strategy of just making believe they don't understand words, stating, history enthusiasts when it isn't World War II or the Roman Empire. Yeah, because it's totally normal to have a poster celebrating 9/11 when you're the guy who's known to be the guy that said America deserved 9/11 multiple times and defended that take multiple times. No, this isn't about history enthusiasm. Like, again, you have to be a complete idiot to see it this way. This isn't a love of history. This is a support of terrorism, very obviously, but the left doesn't care. Now, again, this has 1 million views, 46,000 likes. It's amazing how much leftist discourse is just them pretending not to understand things. Like, bro, he's just a history enthusiast, okay? He's just a history enthusiast. Let's not come to any form of conclusion as to what his actual political stances are. He just loves history, all right? Now, if you think he has some sort of ideology there, or if you think he has an ideology, then you're reading too deep into it, okay? This is just history paraphernalia. Now, again, Hasan Piker is actually getting rejected from Democrat areas. As you can see, the Young Democrats recently made this whole thing, statement from the Young Dems. University of Kansas Young Democrats believe transparency, accountability, and respect are central to maintain our party and core democratic institutions. Accordingly, in light of recent discussions regarding Hasan Piker's appearance over here, we believe it is important to clarify that our chapter was not notified of his participation until shortly before the event. Upon learning of his participation, members of our delegation joined others in leaving the event. We do not endorse Mr. Piker. No, the moderate Democrats that are communists hate the radical Democrats that are communists, or the rhetoric or statements which have generated significant controversy and concern among Democrats and fellow Americans. Dude, Hasan is going to turn center-left people into hard MAGA supporters. Like, you don't understand. Right now, there's Trump derangement syndrome. And, like, the center-left thinks that Trump is Hitler or whatever. But if, like, Rubio runs for president, and they have nothing. They have nothing. Nothing. He's a Latino, right? He's a Latino. He speaks fluent Spanish. All right. It's not a cripple fight anymore. All right. Like, bro, like if this dude, he's just a normal guy, no controversies. All right. No misogynist, the backstory or whatever. Not that they care about misogyny. They support Hamas rapists. Okay. But like, if we had a normal guy running, like, all the center left is going to run to him because the leftoids are going to like actually put up some sort of communist type creature. Like, you don't understand how crazy it is. Now, Hasan says, comparing famine due to mismanagement or even the violence born out of cultural renovation to the Holocaust for claiming it's worse as Holocaust revisionism. If you criticize Mao killing 60 million people, then you are actually a Holocaust revisionist. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he killed 40 million people, bro, but it wasn't even on purpose. It was by accident. Truly the greatest leader of all time. Truly the greatest leader. You know, if he killed 40 million people on purpose, he's a monster. If he killed 40 million people by accident, then he's fucking, you know, a moron. Evil moron. Or I don't know what's worse. Arguably, I don't even know what's worse. Like, at some point, I'd rather just have a smart, evil guy ruling us than a complete dumbass that accidentally killed 40 million of their own people. All right, now, a bunch of Jewish students were locked in a room forced to listen to Hasan. Amid attempts to organize a walkout during Piker's appearance, attendees were permitted to enter, but prevented from exiting by national board members, citing security concerns. You got Jews locked in a room with pedo Piker. Now, I'm not calling him a pedophile because he rapes kids. It's only because he allegedly rapes kids, okay? Like, I want to make that very clear. Allegedly raped a 15-year-old in a brothel in Germany and went to Diddy parties. Allegedly rapes children. I want to make that very clear. He supports pedophiles like Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran, Islamic regime in Iran. He loves pedophiles, I would say, probably. And he only allegedly rapes children. But I would never go as far as to say that he's a child rapist. Only that he probably is a child rapist. Anyway, so this is Hasan fans, as you can see on the way explaining why killing 40 million of your own people is actually a superior system. As you can see, this is Hasan fans getting there. Yeah, Hasan also, you know, he didn't want to talk about the Islamic grooming gangs. It's almost like he loves rape. Actually, I just think he loves rape. Now, anyway, this suit that Hasan was wearing is the actual Mao suit. All right, everyone calls it a Mao suit. And so Hasan defenders are incredible. They're like, actually, it's just a Zongstan suit. Okay, it's not a Mao suit designed to ditch the elitist scholar robes for something simpler and practical that working people could actually wear. Hasan is fighting for the working class. He's fighting for the working class. That's why he wears the Mao suit. Community note, the Zongstan suit is called a Mao suit. And that's awkward. In general, as well as by Piker and his community. No! As well as in his VOD title when he purchased the suit. Oh my fucking god, dude. Crazy. Hasan suit was bought in China. It was designed to be similar to Mao's. Dude, this is like an actual holocaust of a community note. This is one of the most like actual war crime community notes I've ever seen in my entire life. Actually, it's not a Mao suit. It's just a Zongshan suit. No, it is a Mao suit, and Hasan called it a Mao suit, and his fans call it a Mao suit, and he bought it in China designed to look like Mao. Holy fucking genocide, Batman. That's crazy. Now, they're doing this sketch. This is literally what they're doing now to defend Hasan.
Hey, happy house war. What the What? You get hit a little mustache. What? No, dog. No, this is the Charlie Chaplin mustache.
Yeah, real. Anyway, this is literally what leftoids are doing to try to defend Hasan. It's beautiful. It's absolute cinema. Now, Hasan Piker had this to say.
He started his Great Leap Forward campaign in the 50s and killed 2 million landlord owners. 40 million to 60 million people estimated starving to death. The people were trading their children's dead bodies to eat, to survive.
Yeah, so again, Mao, pretty bad guy. Anyway, Hasan, though.
He started his Great Leap Forward campaign in the 50s and killed.
Shut up, lady who's starving to death. I have to listen to Hasan glaze North Korea.
Like, oh my God, he's a genocidal dictator, dude. Like, okay.
Remember, he calls Trump genocidal because Trump supports Israel killing terrorists that are trying to kill them. But he thinks that North Korea is just ruled by decent, normal people.
Please point to a dictator or just in general a Western leader who is not also doing infinitely worse shit around the world, not just to their own citizens, but around the world.
Bro, it's insane. So again, actual monster over here who supports Mao killing 40 to 60 million people, right? Understand that this guy says that Trump or any Western leader is literally worse than Kim Jong-un, the same way he says that Israel is literally worse than Hamas. This guy is incredible. He's amazing. He's actually amazing. Now, the left, currently in the middle of eating each other. Again, this is my favorite cripple fight of all time. Cripple fight! Cripple fight! In the right corner, we have the center Democrats, the funnel to communists. They're gay, they're queer, and they're here. And in the left corner, we have Hasan, dog striker Diddy Piker, loves and supports terrorists. Who will win the cripple fight?
The Democratic Party is showing the early signs of the same disease that destroyed the Republican Party.
Destroyed the Republican Party, by the way. The number one, the most popular president, by the way. But yeah, no.
So many friends on the left texting me and saying, David, we're not going to allow the same thing to happen on the left that Trump did to MAGA. That Trump and MAGA did to Republicans, are we? Republicans.
Just let him cope, okay? He's coping. He's making believe he's not evil, okay? But he's evil. But we're going to laugh at him anyway.
Back in 2010, their leaders laughed at the Tea Party. Conspiracy theorists, they're far-right internet trolls, they're not going to do anything. And then the Tea Party.
Chat, chill out. Let him cope, okay? He's trying to make believe he's not the baddie. All right? This is the Nazis' strongest soldier, still fighting 40 years after World War II ended, okay? Listen, he's... I'm joking, okay? Before the ADL puts me on a fucking hit list, okay? Chill out.
Took over local organizations, threatened primaries, built their own media universe, and eventually were part of a process that gave us Donald Trump. The left and Democrats can't make the same mistake. There is a small group of far-left extremists gaining influence inside youth groups and party organizations because they spend all day online organizing and enforcing ideological purity and attacking anyone who disagrees.
Now, understand, this dude thinks that the far right, in quotes, is the same as the far left. The far right be like, hey, I really don't like when Muslims rape my child. The far left be like, we're going to blow up America. Understand the both sides here.
Now, let me be very clear. I am not talking about people who want Medicare for all and affordable housing. I want all that stuff. I'm with all that stuff. I'm a social democrat in the style of Northern Europe. Of course I want those things. These are folks who treat political warfare like a full-time job. And when they can't build their own coalition, they attach themselves to popular causes. They take...
He's doing everything in his power to not define it as communism. But he can't because he's also a communist. He just doesn't realize it yet.
Real concerns about healthcare, housing, police misconduct, and use them to sell what is actually an authoritarian worldview. Now, there are things in DSA, for example, Democratic Socialists of America, that are good and that I agree with. But there's also some stuff in there that I think doesn't make any sense. I saw their new platform promises a country where you have no debt, you pay no rent, no mortgage, you receive publicly funded housing, publicly funded retirement, food, education, energy, medicine, transportation.
Bro's like, I'm out here drinking soy lattes, but even I can't get on with this.
And it sounds incredible because it is incredible. How would they create it? Government ownership of the largest corporations and of entire industries, universal rent control, abolishing police and prisons, and abolishing the Senate and replacing our political system. Some of these ideas are reasonable to a degree. For example, I support universal health care, and I've talked about 4 or 5 ways that we could get to it.
Yay!
I want affordable housing, and I've done a dozen interviews with housing.
He's trying so hard to suck the dick of like the leftoids and be like, oh my God, I love the leftoids. But these communists are crazy.
Experts on what wouldn't
Wait
work.
until you see Hasan's response.
Work to get us there. I support progressive taxation. We need to collect more taxes from the very rich.
Yeah, I don't believe in any of that, but Hasan wants terrorism. Like, he's like, listen, man, I really like all these things, but I really just don't like the idea of terrorism. He's foolish because he doesn't realize that these policies inevitably get to terrorism every single time, because how are you going to take the things from the people? How are you going to just force them to give you their shit unless you threaten them?
Voting rights have been hurt in this country.
Not hurt enough. We got to abolish that whole shit. All right, what are we doing here? Universal suffrage? Bro, you want hobo crackheads to vote? Unbelievable.
We need police reform. So there's elements of this.
We need more police that are more trigger happy, if possible.
That are great, and any social democrat like me will tell you we got to do that. But you bundle it together. And this fantasy in which capitalism, private industry, and major parts of the government simply disappear, most Americans don't want that. Most Americans understand that there is no way that you could impose that without extraordinary authoritarianism.
I'm trying to explain to the terrorists why terrorism is not nice. The terrorists respond.
Hesitation about confronting this now, and why I went back and forth, is the midterms. Publicly exposing the rot could make moderate voters think.
By the way, just to make it clear, I love that this man is sweating in his pants. He created the monster. All right, he is part of the entire center left that created the pernicious, evil, nefarious left. The reason why we have these foreigner terrorists in our country is because of the center left. The reason why we have all these dipshit commies that are pushing everything, it's the center left. The reason why everyone is so comfortable calling you a Nazi, and the reason why people are so comfortable in colleges manipulating and grooming children to castrate themselves, is because of the center left. They were the gateway to the cancer, and therefore they are also the problem. I want to make this clear. You got what you bargained for. You fucked around and you found out your party is a circus of communism and terrorism because of you. I just want to make that clear.
Think the entire Democratic Party has been infected. But I don't think silence is really going to hide it. I saw a crazy thing from the weekend where there was a college Democrats convention, which I was actually invited to participate in, and I couldn't make it. Hasan Piker was dressed like Mao, and I guess Destiny
triple fight
tried to show up, and he was banned from entering allegedly because the Mao-dressed Piker didn't want him there. Republicans are going to put these clips everywhere. People
notice what he's scared of. He's not scared that Hasan is literally supporting a genocidal dictator that killed 60 million people. He doesn't care that the Democrats are shutting people out of their conversations because of petty personal squabbles. He doesn't care about the communism and terrorism. But what if the Republicans use those clips to gain power like I am doing right now? What if Nux makes a video?
People seem crazy when they see this stuff.
Oh, it's because you are crazy. It's because you're evil and satanic. And we're going to destroy you.
And they are going to take abolish the police and abolish borders and abolish prisons and play them on a loop for 6 months.
Yes, we are.
If I were an average voter with no knowledge of these online personalities, which most of these people are, most people don't follow.
Look how he's explaining why the left is falling apart. He doesn't know that it's what he's doing, but that's what he's doing. He's explaining why the left is absolute dog shit. He's saying, don't say the quiet part out loud. We have to trick the dumbasses into voting for us. Don't tell them that we're trying to commit terrorism and communism and abolish the borders and destroy the country. They're not supposed to know that. We're supposed to do that behind their backs. I love how this is literally two idiots fighting, and it's beautiful. This is the greatest cripple fight of my life. Don't tell them our policies will look like the bad guys.
This sort of thing. They're busy living their lives.
Notice how the left only cares about winning. They don't actually care about making the country good or anything like that.
And working and doing all this stuff.
Or democracy, for that matter.
If I were an average voter with no knowledge of these online personalities, I would find these images and a lot of this stuff very alarming. So as I said last week, and so many of you agreed with me, Democrats must act now and intelligently. The centrists don't really do anything, make very milquetoast fringe suggestions that you don't even really push for. Not working, okay? This other thing of like end everything, it's a sort of destructive accelerationism, that's also not going to work. So I think that...
Notice what he just said as he masturbates the air with his hands. Notice what he just said. The center left does nothing. The radical left wants to destroy our country. Why are we voting? Why are people voting for Democrats again? Oh my God. I love my job. I call it a job even though I'm demonetized on YouTube because you guys are worth so much more than any amount I could get paid. It's beautiful. We get to share these wholesome moments of idiots eating each other alive.
What we need here are no apologetics for dictatorship, no apologetics for authoritarianism, no harassment, no anti-Semitism, no allowing online factions to decide which liberals may
I love how he says no anti-Semitism because they imported 1 billion Muslims that just want to kill all the Jews.
enter the room. You know, what?
Not all the Muslims, to be clear. Just, some, the radical Muslims.
Would I even have been allowed at that college Democrats thing? They invited me months ago. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't go, so we didn't find out. So we just need normal people to participate.
We need normal Democrats. Why are all the Democrats idiots? Why do they all just, every time you look at an Antifa rally, why do they all look like dysgenic freaks? Why do you all have like piercings and face tattoos and colored hair? Why are you all fat? Why do you keep castrating yourselves? We just need a normal Democrat, okay? Why is it so... Notice exactly what he's saying. The quiet part out loud is just diabolical. Rastab Access, thanks for 5 subs.
Join local committees, attend conventions.
Why are you dressing as a woman and going into women's bathrooms? Why can't Democrats be normal? Bro, it's so good. It's so good.
Get involved with state parties and let's turn the DNC into something that works.
Yada, yada, yada. Let's not be communists. Our party sucks. All right, that's basically what he says. He doesn't stop. He doesn't want to acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is the fact that leftist policy leads you to become a dysgenic freak and that the solution, go to church, all right? Find God, all right? That would help. Get married to a member of the opposite sex and have children, all right? Want to love your country and fellow man. It's brutal just looking at these people, to be honest. So anyway, so Hasan responds. You know how he responds? It's pretty great. He responds by sicking his audience on him. He reacts, of course, and then he absolutely sicks his audience on him. Just look at this. APAC man. Is he a secret Nazi? He's a liberal Nazi. David APAC man. Rent is due for David Israel. The Facebook commentators are more consistent than David APAC man. No, because he's Jewish. I guess that's the point. If I'm president, I'm putting David Pac-Man in a camp. Sue him. Yeah, fuck guys. Jail. Treason. Does it require a prison? They're talking about a centrist libtard that wants to reform the police. Do you understand what this audience is? It's just an audience of terrorists and tankies. Like, understand what we're dealing with here. So, again, these people are actually just at each other's throats constantly. Look at the posts that are showing up. David Pacman has 2 adorable kids. That's a threat, by the way, in the terrorist community. If I'm president, I'm putting David Pacman in a camp. All right, and then you just literally look at this. It's just straight. It's all AIPAC man because he's Jewish, and Hasan's community wants to kill Jews. Actually, that's just Zionists. Sorry, Zionists. All right, isn't that insane? Look at this. Every single one of these. AIPAC man, AIPAC man, AIPAC man. It's amazing. First of all, it's a great insult because I also fucking hate AIPAC. But we all know why this is happening. We all know. Now, interesting news that just happened. Last July, Hasan Piker was publicly praising the effectiveness of menacing politicians.
874 Bellevue Drive, and I'm gonna kill you with my AR-15. Like that's the type of messages they were leaving in this dude's office, and he's resigning. Like he's literally, this is his last term. So I think that people are a lot more radical.
So anyway, he's basically saying, hey, you literally need to threaten people's lives and they'll stop doing things. As long as you threaten their life, they'll just stop. Well, breaking news. A criminal complaint was just released to the public of someone the defendant did a threaten to assault and murder ST, a member of the immediate family of a U.S. state senator, with the intent to retaliate against the United States senator on the account of performance of his official duties. All right, so this, I'm pretty sure this was a leftist senator. So this is a far left guy threatening to kill a libtard senator because the libtard senator wasn't left enough. Now, understand that literally in the actual court documents, subject regularly listened to the social media influencer Hasan Piker in the court records. Understand, the left is a terrorist, psychophantic cult, and they're killing each other right now because the moderate leftists, which by the way are at fault here because they have created the far left, are fighting with the far left that they have created, and they're losing. So we here on the Nuxanor channel, we sit here and laugh at morons together because it's honestly, it's a very healthy way to survive. Look, I'm not making this for money. I'm fully demonetized on YouTube, and if you want to support me, you can on Patreon. That'd be really appreciated. But I'm obviously not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the love of the fucking game. Hasan Piker would drag his balls through a mile of broken glass just to hear Ayatollah Khomeini fart through a walkie-talkie. These people need to be destroyed. Any right-wing guy that's using their time and platform and effort to criticize Israel or to criticize Donald Trump, which again, there's a lot to criticize there. I personally think we need to deport literally everybody. If you are going to spend your time doing that instead of destroying the left, which is trying to kill you, you are the enemy. And honestly, I think you're probably some sort of subversive agent. I'm not going to lie, because that shit is suspicious as fuck. Now, we've had a lot of time talking about how leftoids are killing each other and stuff, but we got to talk about the absolute dumpster fire that's going on in the entertainment sphere. So Christopher Nolan desecrated the Odyssey, according to Elon Musk, so that he would be eligible for an Academy Award. Now, this is referring to the fact that to get an Academy Award, you need to have a certain amount of inclusivity. So he's like, oh, I'm going to add a trans person here and sprinkle in a sub-Saharan African as Helen of Troy in order to be, viable for an award. I mean, we all know it was the Jews that manipulated him into putting Goyslop in his movie, but that's a good theory also. I'm kidding, obviously. I would never say that on YouTube, something anti-Semitic like that. I feel chained, you should know. Fully demonetized on YouTube, and I am a good boy. All right, listen, I'm Jewish. I'm not allowed to be anti-Semitic, okay? It's obviously out of respect or something. Anyway, so Elon Musk vows to release his own version of the Odyssey that's AI generated before the end of 2026. Before this year ends, Grok Imagine will make a full-length movie of the Odyssey that is historically accurate and true to the art of Homer, wrote Musk, who slammed Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey for months over casting Lupita Nyong'o and Elliot Page among other criticisms. Now, again, I have been saying all along, the thing I am most excited about AI is the intricate racist roasts it could come up with specifically against Jews and black people. I'm kidding, obviously. I would never use the AI for something like that. What I mean is, what I really like about AI is that it's putting Hollywood on notice. Hollywood is totally cooked. They are actually finally having real competition. Now, will this be good? Probably not. It will probably be dog shit. Now, everyone will watch it because they want to see what AI can actually make. The views might be nice, but this is gonna be shit. I don't want to sugarcoat the shit with you. This is sugar-coated shit that people keep trying to feed you, and I don't believe in that. Now, the reality is, this is not gonna be good. All right, it's not gonna be good. We all know that. However, the titties will be big and the women will be blonde. I'm just saying that's almost guaranteed. Now, the thing I like about AI is that it's a competition. I like that AI is literally a competition to Hollywood that nothing else could have been before. Because Hollywood had a complete stranglehold on the entertainment industry. If you want to make something expensive, it's got to come out of Hollywood. All right? And AI now, basically, if it can actually produce good-looking shit, it will destroy the Hollywood goy slop enterprise. It would obliterate it, and it would be incredible. We would have Greeks actually wearing Greek armor instead of people coming from Wakanda and wearing, I don't know what the fuck the shit they're wearing, t-shirts from Hot Topic. All right, I'm just saying, all right, they are not going to call their dad dad. They are going to call him father, which is exactly what they called him in ancient Greece. And clearly Helen of Detroit is not going to be showing up in the Grok Imagine version. Now, Elon Musk also says he's down to fully fund Mel Gibson with $100 million to make a historically accurate adaptation of the Odyssey. We might be getting 3 Odysseys this year. The AI, the Mel Gibson one, and also the Christopher Nolan one. Right? This is going to be... we are getting like an actual cinematic universe over here. Like, it's going to be insane. I'm excited to see what this is all about, actually. I really want this to happen. I want pushback. Now, Elon Musk, whether you like him or hate him, I like him personally. I think he's great. Wants to compete in the Goy Wars. All right, he's getting involved in the Goy Wars, and it's going to be diabolical. This is the culture war taken to another extreme. Until this very point in time, all of social media, public broadcasting, media as a whole, Hollywood, music, movie productions, it was all controlled by the libtards. The rich, multi-billionaire democroids wanted to push this garbage to all of us. And everything changed when Elon Musk bought Twitter. Elon bought Twitter, and all of a sudden, people are free to say things all over the place. And Elon looks like he's actually starting to try to come up with some sort of way to battle it out against the woke media creation industry, instead of just the people that are sitting there and twiddling their thumbs behind the keyboard, masturbating to whatever goy slop ends up on their screen. Like, we are noticing something incredible right now. Elon is the billionaire or trillionaire that's actually pushing back against the infinite machine that was just controlling everything. Now, again, this is great. Even if the movie is bad, it's great. And he is pushing something wonderful. Chris Nolan is an anti-white racist, he says. And he says one black cast member in the Odyssey wrecked Elon for weeks. Yeah, I guess it's probably the whole more it's the idea of how the entire global leftist ideology is the eradication of white people and Western culture. And Jews. You could sprinkle Jews in there too, I guess, because if you've been paying attention, it really seems like that shit comes together sometimes. Now, it is insane how white people actually don't want to get erased and eradicated and destroyed. Now, this is crazy because, I totally thought they would just keel over and die and just let themselves get steamrolled by, homosexual libtards. But it turns out they don't want that to happen at all. This is crazy. Now, Elon was just on a UK show where they tried to press him for funding far-right movements and propagandizing people with a far-right anti-Muslim movie. And his response was insane.
You support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think is the normal person. Okay.
Yes.
Dude,
literally, you could.
This is the pushback I wanted to see. This is the based pushback I wanted. You're a far-right Nazi. And you're like, yeah, I just want borders. I want a country that has borders.
Go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One thing that's quite funny is to take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? I'm like, oh wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama, or actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I
Literally.
agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity in this country has shifted. Certainly, the Democratic Party shifted to the left. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert
Not
Lowe. I'm
fringe
talking
right,
about
please.
people.
It's actually just normal people. It's just normal people. It's just normal people. And and here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible. That we should have secure borders. That we should have safe cities. That we should have sensible spending. Which of those three are
then you're a Nazi. I'm sorry, you're a Nazi because you want to arrest black people that commit crimes? Oh my God. Oh my God. You're going to disrespect their culture like that?
A far-right fringe. And I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far-right. It is false and misleading and nonsense. Please keep this part in.
We'll keep all of this.
So
in.
good.
Let me.
I am like an Elon Musk stan, but he cheated in a video game. He saved Western civilization. Okay, I am not even exaggerating. He is probably the most, or at least in the top 3 most consequential human beings in our generation. Okay, not even exaggerating. Purchasing Twitter is absolutely massive.
Don't cut this part.
Let me push back on that. Let me push back on that
because
you have
nonsense.
Elon, you have what is it? Close to 250 million followers on X.
Yeah, because
you say things like,
popular guy.
Quote, civil war in Britain is inevitable. Just a question
on the current
of when.
trend, yes.
I mean, when were you last in the UK?
A few years ago.
By the way, this is every British guy's talking point. It's like, you're like, man, I really don't like that Muslims raped 250,000 kids in the UK. And they'll respond by being like, oh yeah, well, when were you in the UK? I may not have been in the UK in 5 years, but I still don't like that Muslims rape 250,000 children. And they're always like, well, if you would have been there, you would have known that. Lady, we see videos every single. There was a guy that was just beheaded, okay, in public.
Exactly. So I live there. And
dude, this is like the anecdotal response, and it's crazy. Like, I don't know, man, if this is like a woman thing, but it's like women are usually shorter than men. Well, I'm taller than some men. You know what I mean? It's like every single time you get like this slop. Every single time you get the same slop every time. It's crazy. It's like, bro, 250,000 kids were raped by Muslims. I wasn't raped by a Muslim. Yeah. Lady, hello, what the fuck?
I'm there the whole time. That is nonsense.
You live a cloistered existence.
No, I don't, actually. And the numbers also disprove what you say.
What numbers?
All
the numbers that I don't have on hand, but the numbers.
The numbers about crime. London is a much safer city than any city in the United States.
Straight. They will look in your face and they will lie to you. In London, there is an average of 1 rape every 53 seconds. There is no city in the United States with that stat. She is talking specifically about gun violence or something. All right, she's picking one absolutely gay statistic, all right, in order to prove her point. All right, in London, there is a rape every 53 seconds. Understand how horrible that is.
Violent crime in the UK is not where you think it is. In fact, it's coming down. You have painted, and because you have so many followers, so many Americans believe it, a kind of view that Europe and the UK are kind of, overrun with terrifying Muslim immigrants.
That's literally true. The majority of your mayors are Muslim now. Like, it's just objectively true that that's happening. The most common name in England is Mohammed. Literally, the most common name in England is Mohammed. Okay? Like, I'm not even going to make believe that, like, the funny thing is, these people think that they can manipulate you with their bullshit. But everyone with eyes knows they're lying.
Rape on every corner. There's a sort of civilizational destruction.
There literally is a civilizational destruction. Right? They are knocking down, they are just knocking down statues and replacing them with Palestine flags. Yes, there literally is a civilizational destruction. The economy is trash. They're funding foreigners. There's rape everywhere. It's objectively true. Churches are getting burnt down suspiciously.
Those things. If you have a large and rapidly growing group of people whose beliefs are antithetical to Western beliefs, at some point there will be a reckoning. That they will try to implement their views, and those who oppose it will oppose it, and that's what you call civil war. And obviously, this is the trend.
So she's like, you're getting everyone all riled up by saying civil war is coming to the UK, and he's like, yeah.
And you absolutely do live in a cloistered existence. And if you'd like, we can go on a tour of Britain.
Sure.
And we
I'd
can go
be
on a
very
walking
happy
tour,
to come on a tour of Britain.
and you will see
you
for
come
yourself.
see my country that I live in all the time, and you haven't been to a few years ago.
I've been there literally.
I've been there literally a bajillion freaking times. What are we even doing? And the Elon pushback is so good. I am so happy that we have this guy on our side. This guy on our side is absolute cinema. It's amazing. Now, they also asked him about the Citizen Vigilante film, the one that he was actually pushing. You remember the one I'm talking about with the guy that was out there shooting rapists that happened to coincidentally be Muslim, right? Basically, and he was like, "Yeah, hello, it's a movie, right? Whatever." I don't see the actual interview right now, but they said, "But what about the Citizen Vigilante film that you were pushing that was pushing violence?" And he's like, it's a movie." Like based. Yeah, anyway, the funny thing is, there is a war going on, specifically regarding woke movies, in the interesting realm of the Daily Wire. That's right. We got some woke Jew influence invading in our spaces. That's right. So Ben Shapiro had this to say: "In my honest opinion, a lot of conservatives are missing the biblical forest for the woke trees in the Nolan's Odyssey. Yes, the casting of Elliot Page is silly and egregious. There's the thing: Nolan's The Odyssey is an apologia for Christian morality poured over a Greek vase. The entire movie is rooted in Nolan's terms: Zeus's law. The law is treat others as you want to be treated because anyone might be God. Now, clearly, there's nothing like Greek mythology. It's not implicit in Homer. It is a direct rip from biblical morality, substituting because anyone might be a god for because man was made in the image of God. Nolan then uses this rule and uses it as his moral glue, yada yada, blah blah blah. Anyway, it's pretty awesome. Anyway, that's the point. Anywho, Matt Walsh had a different opinion. Just saw The Odyssey. Despite what you might have heard, literally all the criticism by the conservatives were entirely correct. The movie is woke as you fear, if not more so. The DEI casting is atrocious, completely takes you out of the story right from the beginning. But even worse than that, it is Nolan's decision to turn Odysseus into an anachronistic, whiny, solemn shell of a man, plagued by trauma and guilt. Now, this is funny because as I've told Chad earlier, any of you that have your wife like just out there, any women in my audience that are like, man, my husband really needs to go to marriage counseling. Lady, he doesn't need marriage counseling. He needs a blowjob. It's impossible to overlook these flaws because the film is not terribly entertaining or well constructed. For the most part, it's disjointed, dull, self-serious, disenchanted, somehow feeling both verbose and overly rushed at the same time. The dialogue is some of the worst I've ever heard in a critically acclaimed movie. On the nose and clunky are descriptions that can't even begin to describe the script. At no point in the story does Nolan ever transport the audience to the ancient world. You never feel like you're 3,000 years in the past. You feel like you're watching modern Americans put on a pageant because they are. Nobody would be calling this thing a masterpiece if it was made by a movie director not named Christopher Nolan. Bro, so you got a civil war going on in the Daily Wire. You got Ben Shapiro saying the Odyssey is actually a modern classic. You have Matt Walsh saying the Odyssey is fake and gay. I personally haven't seen the Odyssey because it's fake and gay. So therefore, Matt Walsh automatically wins by default. Now, if you want to look at the actual reviews on the Odyssey, all right, you got 5 stars, great, 3 hours of entertainment. 5 stars, incredible, start to finish, no notes. 5 stars, worth every penny. We'll be seeing again. 5 stars, phenomenal story, amazing action. 5 stars, a masterpiece. 5 stars. This is AI. Okay, this is AI slop reviews, reviewing AI slop movies. Okay, this is the shit propaganda that we're dealing with. Okay, and it's unbelievable. The bot reviews are doing this. Now, again, a lot of people started noticing that reviews are fake and gay. All right, somehow this got higher reviews than The Lord of the Rings, which obviously is bullshit. But Asmongold just dropped this one.
The Odyssey has officially overtaken Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King on Rotten Tomatoes. Christopher Nolan's Odyssey sits at 95% reviews, edging past Return of the King. The Odyssey also leads with 97% popcorn meter score from verified ratings compared to Return of the King's only 86%. Rotten Tomatoes.
Now, to be clear, Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, is the greatest movies ever made. Nothing beats them, period. So anytime someone says, oh, this is as good, they're liars. It's fraud. They're trying to fill your goy head with slop. That's right. Okay, that's right. They're lying immediately. That's how you know. And I'm seeing someone in my chat say, arguable. You're banned, bro. You're banned. It's not arguable. All right? It is slop and lying. Yeah, it is true. It is the best movies ever made, period, the end. If you disagree, you're getting banned. I believe in freedom of speech unless you disagree with God, or if you think that The Lord of the Rings isn't the best movie ever.
The Odyssey is a 97% score. The raw JSON data proves that it's actually 56%. See the real numbers for yourself on the Odyssey page. A few lines down, you'll see JSON data block that looks like this, the liked count and not liked count, extracting the true poll score summary. Out of the 886 active Rotten Tomatoes users who, at the time of this writing, navigated to the site on their own to write the Odyssey, 56% rated it positively. The current generated 97% score displayed so prominently is simply an artifact of a push notification pipeline heavily biased towards opening weekend ticket buyers. So apparently...
Understand what that means. It's rigged. They rig consensus to trick you. This is just a microcosm of... Remember when Donald Trump was running for election against Hillary Clinton, and all the polls said that Hillary Clinton had a 92% chance of winning? Yeah, that didn't happen for those of you that don't remember. All right, that's how it works. I'm just saying. Speaking of the Odyssey and all the riggers trying to fix this shit, you know what rhymes with rigor? Bigger. Bigger rhymes with rigor. Now, nothing else. There are no other words that rhyme with it. So anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is it's very obviously rigged in order to create some sort of fake consensus. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but this is an old strategy that people have used because everyone, especially women, like to be part of the majority. This is a very, very popular social manipulation tactic. All right? They just tell you what the majority is, and everyone will want to be part of that majority. So... they make a fake majority to manipulate you. This is what they do for voting, which is fraud. By the way, it's actually illegal to post knowingly fake polls like that. And as well as through movie reviews in order to create some sort of fake consensus to say, hey, woke isn't dead. How could you say woke is dead? We have this fucking bullshit woke-ass movie with Achilles as Ellen Page, 4'9" castrated woman as Achilles. And don't worry, guys. Everyone loves it. Look at this score. You should also make your movies fake and gay.
Emily Wilson was mixed on the Odyssey. This is exactly the twist the culture war needed. Basically, she was the one that made the 2017 translation of the Odyssey, the Foyd edition. She questioned a range of omissions to the incoherent messaging that both condemns war and physical cowardice. Very modern.
And she seems to feel bad about being a warrior, and we never actually get to see...
These people are so gay, because winning wars is awesome. It's always been awesome, all right? And women don't understand that. All right, I'm not trying to be rude to women. Some would argue that it's very nice. I would argue that it's feminine, whatever that means. And it's actually awesome to win wars. It always has been awesome to win wars. Women will never get it. You're not built that way. That's okay. You're built to nurture and to love and to create. And we are built to win wars and protect you. And so you don't have to worry about winning wars because that's our job. Our job is winning the wars. Your job is loving and creating and nurturing. Okay, I want to make it clear. Okay, so if you are against wars, that's fine because we're the ones fighting in them. All right, so just make that clear.
Doing much warrioring, which I thought in a way was a bit of a shame. And I think that's one of the big challenges for Nolan, right?
Yeah.
Is that he has to make the protagonist a likable all-American hero, basing this on a poem where the hero is not necessarily motivated by being a nice suburban parent, but actually by, he wants glory, and he wants to get spoils from the sack of a city.
So even she's criticizing it? That's funny.
Going back. The woke feminist that rewrote the Odyssey to be more gay and anti-man is criticizing Christopher Nolan for feminizing it even more somehow.
back to the poem and looking at, okay, what fuels all this? What's sort of there behind it? The golden rule of the idea that, you know, treat others as you would be treated, the glue that binds society together. The more I thought about it, the more that became important. And society can only function with respect for strangers. It's a point of connection with this text of 3,000 years ago that isn't just a great adventure story, but it's also a kind of ethical.
The real story for the Odyssey is why Somalis should live in Minnesota.
Moral foundation that connects us to a very different time.
It's crazy that you can say that about the Odyssey when everything in the Odyssey is the exact opposite of this. They're literally sailing across the fucking ocean to steal a bitch back. They raid a city, kill everybody in the fucking city. Then they said, all right, well, everybody's dead here. I guess let's go back home. And then he gets back to his own house. There's a bunch of fucking foreigners there, and he had to kill them all.
And society can only function with respect for strangers.
The first stop that Odysseus make after sacking Troy is when they go just across the isthmus and sack another town and kill all the men and enslave all the women. And moving on, that's the first thing they do in the course of the journey home.
It's what you do, man. It's what you do. All right, the Foids wouldn't understand. I'm not endorsing it, but it's the thing to do.
Of course.
They want to get more booty and get more spoils.
Duh, that's what they do. Obviously.
I think it's a film that has some interest in shame, but I don't think it has any interest in glory.
Wow. It has interest in shame, but it has no interest in glory. That is actually fucking... That is savage. The Odyssey
is... Do you understand how insane it is that the actual feminist that rewrote the script of the actual original Homer's Odyssey to be gayer and more feminine, was criticizing Christopher Nolan for being too gay and feminine? If this isn't like, you know, Goy Wars, Revenge of the Foid, I don't know what is. And if you want to hear my unfiltered take on things, you should be supporting me on Patreon, because I was specifically told by someone that I will not mention by name, but it was someone important, that I am not allowed to state Helen of KFC on YouTube because KFC is an insult to black people. Now, I didn't know that because KFC is loved by all sorts of folks, but apparently that's racist, so I can't make that joke anymore. So anyway, if you want to support me on Patreon, that would be nice. My entire YouTube channels are all demonetized. If you want to support me there, I upload exclusive videos there, like 3-4 a week. 2 of them are would probably not be acceptable on YouTube, and the other 2 are just kind of wholesome and fan-requested things like Adventure Time and Warhammer lore. All right, so if you want to support me there, that would be greatly appreciated. I thank you so much for everything. Anyway, that was all of the things. Definitely subscribe. My videos are Giga Shadow Banned by the Cabal. 85% of my views come from my subscribed audience, and only 15% of my views are found by other people, which makes sense because I'm fully demonetized and YouTube isn't making any money on my channel. So why would they promote it? That makes sense, I guess. Ha ha ha. Now YouTube gives me like these nice notifications. It's like, wow, we've noticed that you've earned like, you know, tens of thousands of dollars less than usual. And I'm like, yeah, you know, fucking shit. Thanks analytics. Thanks YouTube analytics. Wow, very, very nice. Yeah, you mean I make less money after you demonetize all my shit? Yeah, anyway, so thank you so much for your support. You guys are absolute legends. I will see you in the next one. And here we are. We're not doing it for the money. We're doing it for the love of the game. All right, so as our president said, games? Unlimited games? No games. No games. We will absolutely fucking destroy you. Trump is gonna kill you.